mic is good. We should be all set, so now they should be able to hear you guys as well. Welcome, everyone, to another night of the Counter Cooperative. I am your illustrious Dungeon Master, here to guide us on yet another adventure through the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, known as the Princes of the Apocalypse. We don't have any major announcements, so we will just go ahead and jump right in. Last we left off, our adventurers faced a very high-stakes combat, a fight with a maimed and kind of experimented on Umber Hulk that was left beneath the monastery of the Sacred Stone Monastery, and this little underground like dungeon level where they'd been keeping prisoners, and this was kept as kind of like a guard pet, like a guard dog of sorts. It had fatally wounded Painbearer Oslek, who was spared from death, having had Pippin be capable of getting down to him in time before Pultra, Ragnarok, and Nihilus together were able to slay the beast itself. Now, gathering the prisoners that were kept at the Sacred Stone Monastery, you found about 30-ish prisoners, in which one of them was a member of the delegation from Mirabar that you guys are actually looking for. A dwarven historian by the name of Bruldenthar, which is kind of the crux. He's like the primary person for this delegation. He's the reason why the delegation exists. It's because the information that he's been obtaining about things going on here in the Somber Hills. In fact, he brought along with him his entire anthological collection on it, 50 tomes in total, which you guys know have been kind of scattered around. You guys have been able to collect quite a bit of those, and start to study a bit and understand that what Bruldenthar is starting to recognize is that an ancient dwarven fortress that was underneath the Somber Hills, known as Tiar Basil, was the source of elemental power. And Bruldenthar believes that the elemental nodes, which are kind of like gateways between the elemental planes, their individual planes, and the material plane, are kind of honed, and believes that the increasing threat presence in the Somber Hills is around different prophetic figures who have gathered cults in their respective nodic position, so earth, fire, wind, and water, in order to accomplish some goal that is yet to have been unraveled. All you guys know is that in order to proceed further into this location known as the Eye, in order to get further down, that you would need to collect a series of keys. Now, you have 2 of those keys. You recognize that another key must be located at the Scarlet Moon Hall, where you're pretty confident that the fire worshippers are, which is where we'll pick up in just a moment. And you are still, it sounds like we may still be sold, but somewhat debatable as to whether or not the Feathergale Knights have the other key and are confirmed as the air cultists in this region. It sounds like we're pretty confident on that, but I do still occasionally hear some skepticism, so we'll play with that when we get there. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and pick up kind of right where we left off. So, to kind of remind you, the Scarlet Moon Hall is a massive tower that is built on the top of a hill. Visible through the haze that covers the hill is a square tower ringed by ruined walls. In front of the tower burns a bonfire shaped like a fiery giant. Scattered on the slope below the tower are 7 bonfires with tents clustered around them, in which humanoid figures huddle near these closer fires. There's a trail that leads up to these hillside encampments. Now, for the sake of all of my players in our general chat, I have gone and posted a picture of the Scarlet Moon Hall map. I left off any notable information. I found a map that was mostly blank and just gave you the grid layout so that you guys can get a better idea of where it is that you would like to go. I have that map present, and I know where things are and what we need to worry about on my side. And I have the map pulled up here on my left so that I can get an idea based on what you're looking at as well. You guys are entering in, if you're looking at that map, at the very bottom, where there's a single trail leading up to the very first bonfire that exists available. As you guys walk up, there are 4 robed humans, 2 of which are male, 2 of which are female, all of which are chanting as they stand around their own bonfire. The current language that they're speaking, though, is Druidic. And so, because no one here is a Druid, no one can understand what it is that they're speaking. On the periphery of the firelight are 2 massive elk, which at the moment are just placidly chewing. Now, as you guys walk up, these druidic humans, in the midst of their chanting, it's a kind of like a swelling of kind of like bass vowel sounds, a lot of O's and Oo's and Ahs. The females are kind of adding on top of that with some of the higher vowels with the E's and the I's and the A's. Their chanting is kind of, it mixes and overlaps, and it's quite harmonious. As you guys approach just enough to be kind of outside of the firelight, it is dark presently, by the way, so it is dark outside currently. As you guys approach, though, what you do notice is that one of the males kind of recognizes that you guys are kind of walking up, kind of sees that, kind of visually confirms that he can see that, before kind of putting a quiet pause to the chanting, and everyone kind of stops and turns. This individual kind of looks at you and says, "Greetings. Hello. The name is Vargo. I would be lack of manners if I didn't at least be able to offer you something to drink. I'm sure your road has left you here quite parched." He goes and points off into the direction, and the other humans that are with him, his own little group, start to gather some of their water skins that they have, and they bring them over in your way as like a friendly gesture to offer you guys some water and something to drink. And then they have some light types of non-perishable foods. So they're kind of giving off like just some simple things that they could give off as like a gesture of good hospitality. The main one, the one that just introduced himself, Vargo, looks over in your direction and kind of seeing a very eclectic group of adventurers. "I take it you're here for the right of the wicked giant."
I step forward, and you would be correct in that regard, my friend. We're looking for some of our other friends that were supposed to have made it here by now. Would you mind pointing out the direction of the camps? I'm sure that we could find them from there.
It depends on who specifically you're looking for. We've only arrived here just recently. We're a little bit more of newcomers compared to you. Might not be the best of help, but we can try our very best. Who is it that you're searching for?
I forget their name. I only met them once, but we had formed a special relationship over a couple of discussions about, the mother of the forest and the things that she does for the people of this world. But I'm sure if we do some looking around, we'll be able to find our friends just fine. But I really appreciate you caring about us like that. That means a lot to me, as a fellow child of Mother of the Forest.
Absolutely. I can tell you for certain that there is one person that I know is a bit more hospitable than I, but she's located, if you were to go up the hill and take a left, kind of squeeze around the first 2 encampments on that far left side, Garena. She's up there currently fiddling, and she's a pleasant person. I've known her a few times where we come from the same woodland areas, so we've been around quite a bit. A lot of the others here are unfortunately quite strange to me, but I welcome the new experience, and no matter how queer the attitude.
I reach my hand out and I say, "To adventures far and wide, and to the health and blessings of this place we call home in our nature. Thank you for your help.
Might our journeys take us, like bees carry pollen, but might our roots grow sturdy like an oak."
And then I'll stop shaking his hand, and we'll head down the left path.
Well, before you go, at least I would love to at least give you a chance to Just make sure that you're all taken care of. By the way, and he points to the other people in his group. He's directing at the first male, because there's only two, so he's the first one. This is the second. This is Mahoon. And then our female companions are Iniri and Faria. But so just to make sure that we're all on terms, we never got your names.
Well, my name is Pippin Pillstones. You may have heard of me. I've also been around these woods. And
then you'll have to forgive me. I've not heard the name once.
It's okay. I get it. People like you, people like me, we don't spend much time listening to story weavers, But I'm just glad to meet somebody else who has the same appreciations I do.
Right. And are you here to see Eliza Fly Dragon as well?
Wait. Sorry. What did you say one more time?
Are you here to also see Eliza Fly Dragon as well?
Elsa Fly Dragon. That name, it rings a bell. I'm not the most familiar. You'll have to forgive me again. I don't listen to much story weaving.
He is the one in charge of the right of the Wicked Giant.
Well, then I guess I should consider myself, what's the word? Privileged. Should I get the opportunity to be met with his grace?
Yes, we've only had a small conversation with him. He was a little gruff, I'm not going to lie. But, we haven't been run out, so we must not have disappointed.
Hey, well, you know what they say. Genius don't always fit in with the normal, am I right? And I kind of give him an elbow rub.
Yeah, sometimes you'll find a fox wandering amongst the sheep.
You got any? All right. I think we'll be on our way now, but thank you again. It was nice to make all your acquaintance.
Absolutely. Oslek, you can tell because of your passive perception, the camp that is kind of still on this level, this layer of the hill that is off to the right of the camp that you're at currently, has a small group of people there. There's 2 humans, and then a bear that's with them, a brown bear. And the humans are giving you guys kind of like a very just like cautious eye.
Have we separated ourselves from the people we're talking to, or have
you guys have not moved at all? You guys are still with this first group, just kind of like getting through like hellos. They gave you some refreshments, and so you just catch it because the conversation hasn't involved you. You start to notice that the camp that's kind of over the way, you can see them looking at you guys. They're looking at you and your party specifically, and they're giving you guys a very cautious look.
I'm gonna put my
at that camp.
You guys can't see it, only me is my perception.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my wing behind Pippin's back. I'm gonna look at the people he was talking to. It was a pleasure meeting you all, but we must be off. And then I'm gonna kind of guide Pippin and hope that everyone else follows while we like kind of step away from them.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, wait, friend. I was talking to our new friends over there. Why are you pulling me away like this?
Because I need to tell you something, Pippin. You need more trust in me when I pull you away. There's a group of strangers over there, and they're looking at us quite suspiciously.
Can I look at them?
I wouldn't look over there.
Go ahead and make I'm going to call it a...
Can I do it sneakily, though?
No, it's going to be like a sleight of hand perception roll. So what I want you to do is, are you proficient in perception?
No.
Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
No.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and roll a perception roll, but I want you to do so with your dexterity modifier instead of your wisdom modifier.
Hey, look at those people over there, but try not to make it... Oh, those people right there, the ones looking at us right over there.
That's why he's rolling with dexterity, so I changed it.
I got a flat 10.
A flat 10. Okay, so you just turn your head slightly, and you can see them. They're kind of illuminated by their own firelight. And yeah, they're looking at you guys specifically, and they're looking at you quite cautiously.
Right.
So they're kind of looking at each other as they're watching, and kind of you see a couple nods, kind of like a couple like head movements as if they're kind of like gauging you guys and kind of like sizing you up a little bit. But it's a cautious look. They're kind of like like who are these guys kind of a deal.
I turn back to Oslick and I say, I see them looking at us, but I don't think that they're overly suspicious. I think that they're just like, who are these new people? But we'll definitely keep our eye on them.
I was thinking it might be best if we just squash the caution at the core and go up to them right now.
But we got this other lady that we need to go talk to her first.
I mean, we can. I figured we got enough information from her. But if you want to talk to her more, we can. But
listen, I am all for trouble, but that fella there, he mentioned something super important that's about to happen. And not only that, but he also spilled some information about this lady who it seems like we could probably go talk to and, cadaver some information from. And then from there, we see what that important thing going on is. And then we make our farewell, if you would say.
Very well, if that's...
I just don't... Listen, we're really good at causing trouble, and we will definitely do that here. Just not yet.
I'm not trying to cause trouble, Pippin. I'm just saying these people over here are looking at us. We don't need to cause trouble, but we can go... I meant squash, not as in go fight them, but squash as in let's go talk to them. And make us...
so secret. Now, I consider myself a child of the forest, but these children of the forest, they are something different. I'll tell you what. It's another story for another time at a tavern. Now,
you see the group that you're with. They're starting to pull out like long wooden pipes, and they're putting in something to start smoking.
What the fuck? Like I said, they are. I've tried that crazy stuff. They are something different. We got business to get to.
I think we could get this information from anyone here, but if you'd like to go talk with them, you're just, and I will not stop you. But I just figured they were looking at us. We might go talk to them and see possibly why they're eyeing us up and build a friendly relation with them. I agree. It doesn't seem like they're trying to fight us.
I nudge Oslick on the shoulder, and I say, "Little birdie just wants to fight. You're my kind of companion." And then I put my little tiny gnome fist, and I try to reach up for your heart, but I don't know if I can reach it or not.
You get him square in the gut.
Nice.
But it's against his armor because he's wearing his chainmail currently. So you kind of dink it. Yeah, it's more symbolic. You dink his gut.
Pippin, I think you have a misunderstanding. I don't love to fight. I love to defend. I'm not trying to fight anyone here. I'm just trying to... I was just saying they're over there. But I appreciate it, Pippin. Thank you.
At this point, the druids that you're with are kind of like... It sounds like you guys have been through quite a lot of betrayal and upset. Hearing of this it's unfortunately traumatizing to hear of the amount of suspicion.
I like how they all hear that.
Oh, they heard all that?
The ones that you guys were with, you didn't move off.
That's so funny.
You guys haven't moved.
God darn it.
Yeah, you gotta tell me when you move so I know that you've moved. You guys haven't moved. And so it's Vargo specifically who's like, it sounds traumatizing. It sounds like you guys have been through quite a lot. We'll continue to pray to the woodlands of keeping you safe in peace and serenity because it sounds like you'll need it.
Wait, so did you call these people crazy to their face?
No, he said that they were something else, and then they started pulling out pipes to smoke.
But did they hear him say that?
Just
and then they started pulling out pipes to start smoking. They don't care.
They're
That's so fucking funny.
It's tobacco. It could be tobacco.
Yeah, you guys don't know what they're smoking.
Bro,
I didn't say
druids.
what they're smoking. They're just smoking.
Druids.
Hey,
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. They could just be smoking Parmesan cheese for all we know.
What?
No, they're not. It is a joke. It's a joke.
The first generation of...
Here's some dirt. Just grizzle some dirt in there.
By the way, so just for reference, the camp that they were talking about is on the left side, and it's the absolute farthest one from the center.
So basically, once you get up to the second layer of bonfires, it curves. And so they're saying specifically on the left side, if you go all the way past the first two campfires and get to the final one, that one's where Garena's at.
That's where I wanted to go first anyway, so that's awesome.
So you guys head up to the next level and start moving around?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we move up to the first level, are we going to the left or right?
You guys are going left.
So we're going to the one that's like smack dab in the middle.
Well, that's going to be the first one that you have to walk by. And if you give me a second, I'm just going to close my door real quick, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's fine. Pippin's gonna go to the bathroom as well.
Okay.
If he comes
So
back,
yeah, you guys will be going to just that first one. And as you guys are walking up, the two people that are at this camp, very big, burly males. Both of them have like kind of like an Outlander vibe to them, so they have these fur jackets. This isn't a cold climate, so their bare chests are for the most part exposed, other than where the jacket. It's kind of like a vest almost, like a fur-lined vest that cuts off about halfway down the torso, so you can see they got like chiseled abs, like pretty muscular men, burly woodland men. Both of them get up immediately, one of them grabbing a large like wood axe, pretty big wood axe. It doesn't have it like as if he's going to swing it, but he grabs it, and they both stand up, and they kind of get in between their campfire and where you guys would be as you're coming up, putting kind of like this very awkward and like pushy kind of approach to them. They don't really speak to you, and if you guys want to move around them, you hesitate, maybe they'll let you. But at the very least, they don't know you and they don't trust you. That's very clear, and they're ready to throw down if they need to.
I'm gonna look them.
They don't say anything.
I'm gonna look them direct. What time of day is it? Like afternoon?
It's nighttime.
Nighttime. I'm gonna look the one closest to me, or maybe directly in the front, like in the eyes, and nod my head and go, "Good evening, sir."
Yeah, it is. You can keep walking.
Thank you. Pleasure. And then I'm gonna walk right through.
I want to walk.
What do I see? Do I have like a new? Is everything inside what I could see before? Or is there any new, not any like new thing I get access to walking through? Like anything I can?
It's just their camp.
Just camps.
Yeah, they for the most part are just like very standoffish, and they seem to be very untrusting. And that's kind of normal with people who live isolated. And so you just are strangers to them, and they don't care to be friendly.
Fly dragon. And
Ragnar, what is it that you said you were gonna do?
Talk to Elder.
Yeah.
Is Fly Dragon actually a dragon?
No, because that's a god.
Elazar? You have to find out.
Elazar?
You don't see. It's Elazar. Elazar Fly Dragon. You haven't seen a
Dragonborn?
dragon here, if that helps.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Because if they were another Dragonborn, you could be like, "Hey, Dragonborn, what up?" Dude?
Yeah. So what was it that you were trying to do, Ragnar? You were saying stuff, and then.
Oh. I'm looking for an Elazar fly dragon. Can you point me in the right direction?
No.
Why?
The one that's like clutching his axe. He takes a step closer to where he's like face to face with you, and he's like, "No, because I don't know you. That's why."
Can I be holding on to Ragnar like a backpack right now?
Yeah, sure.
I peek my head around his shoulder like a parrot, and I go, "No, please, friend, we're
not friends. You can keep walking in any direction if you so choose. You're not welcome here."
Listen, we mean no harm. We'll drop all our weapons at the door. We just really, really, really want to
I'm
talk.
not concerned for that. I'm concerned for the fact that you're still here. I don't care to make friends. It was a pleasure to meet you. Now go.
We don't need to be friends, but at least relate to me on the level of the fact that we both appreciate the mother of the forest that we call our home, and in that fact, we share the same stars, the same sun, the same moon.
The only thing I care about is participating in this rite. I care little for anything else. The fact that you're still here is putting a hamper on that. I don't need your presence. I don't need your friendship. I don't need your advice, your counsel. I don't need your wisdom, your proverbs, your history, none of it. I need you to move. Pick a spot. Okay. Do you want to go left? Do you want to go up? Do you want to go right? I care not where you head.
I want to go forward. So what is it you need?
Keep walking. Simple.
Forward? Is forward the direction like towards where?
So left is technically the direction towards Garena, but Oslek has already walked past because he's like, "Hey, can we go?" And they were like, "Yes, please do." And he was like, "Okay," and so he started walking. Ragnar
Wait,
was
you
the one that
said
then
Ragnar?
kind of walked up. Oslek said, "Can I go?" And they said, "Yes, please go." And so he went. And
What
then
did they?
Ragnar was like, "Hey, where's Elazar?" And they
Dude,
don't
what
want to
are-
talk. They don't want to talk to you guys.
Are they just blocking the camp?
Are they
No,
standing?
they're standing in between their stuff and you. So
Oh,
they're basically protecting their things by being very standoffish. They don't want you in their space. It has nothing to do with like trying to impede your traffic. They just don't want you near their stuff. They don't want you in their space.
Oh, sorry. I thought these people were in the way. Never mind. Man. Yeah, forget
No,
you.
it's very uncomfortable because it was very uncomfortable at first because there was the hesitation of like, are they going to let us keep going? Because they immediately kind of stood up to us.
All right. Yeah. We can just go on by.
Yeah, you guys asked pretty good questions. Yeah, they don't want to talk. They don't like being.
Oh.
Yeah, so you guys.
What are they like again, though? Those two?
They're kind of like out like woodland men, like burly, like lumberjacky men.
how tall?
About 6'2", I would say.
You sizing them up, Couture? What are you fucking?
Yeah, they're pretty.
You're
No,
freaking-
so like they're visibly quite fit. They're very muscular. I mean, if definitely the one that has the wood axe. They're not as built as Ragnar. Ragnar easily has probably like 60 to 70 pounds on them, just due to the fact that he's a dragonborn. But I mean, in terms of human strength, these guys are probably pretty good.
Okay.
They're just kind of
Big.
rude. So
That's
you guys kind
normal.
of keep walking past it, and you get to the next camp that is kind of along that pathway. There's 4 people that are here, one of which is a half-elf, and she kind of is sitting at her fire on a log. There's 3 other people that are here on logs as well. The other 3 are all males, and human males specifically, and they have like bows strapped to their backs, quivers on their backs, and they're in the midst of just kind of like eating some food. The woman, the one that's kind of like looks a little bit more like in charge of the small group, is whittling something with a knife. And so she's got like a small piece of wood, like soft wood, and is whittling away at it. And kind of looks up as you guys are approaching because she's got her body turned towards the pathway that leads to, and she just kind of gives you just like a nod as you guys are walking and keeps whittling.
Hey there. We're here for kind of the same reasons you are. We just we figured we'd come by and kind of, just make the rounds and introduce ourselves to all the other camps out here before we go and set ours up. We have a couple of things to give as some gifts, just to make our name known so that you might remember us, so that the next time that this comes about, we could be like, hey, I saw you last time. That was awesome. We can appreciate things together.
She kind of leans closer and goes, "You talk a lot. I can assure you one thing. After the rite is experienced, quite a lot will be forgotten due to its extravagance."
No, I know that. That's why I'm making the most of this time that I have before we are granted the pleasure of witnessing this rite. And so I just, while we may forget, there are some things that the heart does not. And I know that to be true, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Well, then
My
far
mom
be,
is
it far be it from me to try and tell you otherwise. The name is Lighten. These are my brothers.
Brothers, well, at least let me introduce myself. My name is Pippin Pillstones. This
They
here
all-
is my
they all-
compatriot,
The
Red.
other guys that are there are kind of like looking at one another while you guys are talking. And Lighten is, as you're introducing, is kind of just like nodding and listening.
Nice. All right. Oh, guys, out of game, real quick. What is the most valuable thing that we have in our possession?
What do you mean?
Okay, besides that, we don't really have anything worth value, do we?
Not a whole lot, no.
Omar, I'm gonna need some of your books.
No.
Yeah, please, the ones that you read already.
No, I'm not giving those away.
You gotta let us know what you're doing before you try and take our stuff.
Just one book.
No.
Dude, please.
No.
We
I'm
need
not-
it. Oh,
No,
dude.
I need them.
Would have to
I
roleplay
need
this anyways. This doesn't even count, dog. You could try and sell his book, but then see how Omar reacts into it in game, dude.
them. I have them. Thank you very much. Well,
I know,
I
that's what
think
I'm
I
saying.
think it's at Waterkeep or whatever.
Yeah, you do have the tomes back at Riverguard. You don't have them all on you. You have way too many to bring. I mean, you could probably bring like 1 or 2 with you, but to bring all of them, there's no way anymore. Not happening.
I have a Manticore pelt, but I'm not just gonna give it to you to go along with your plan.
You do have a Manticore pelt.
Oh yeah.
I know I have silk too.
Can I
No,
look
was
at?
it silk?
I don't-
Right.
Silks are pretty expensive.
I know,
Can I
but I'm
look-
pretty sure I had some.
Yeah,
Because remember, I was gonna give some to
Yeah.
the pirates.
They're the only valuable I
Right.
have.
Right.
The
Oh
only
yeah,
va-
50 gold worth of silk. That's what I
Dude, do you
have.
guys
Yes.
want to see the only valuable that I have, dude? The only valuable that I have.
Is
What is
friends.
that? Oh.
Wow.
Come on.
He just wrote that down. He's
What do you mean, dude? My hands have been stationary the whole time.
he just wrote it down, dude. It's rigged. The fucking election is rigged.
Bro, you are literally capping.
Wait,
All
what
right.
did you write down? I
He
couldn't
wrote
read it.
friends.
Fine.
On his
Fine.
treasury, his list of valuables, he wrote friends. Lame.
Oh, Ethan.
What'd
What
you
is
say,
she
Trey?
whittling? What is she whittling?
What is she whittling?
Yeah.
It is. Go ahead and make either a nature check, an investigation
Can I
check.
kill?
You are too busy trying to figure out valuables. Hold on, before you tell me the roll, you can either choose nature, investigation, or what's a carpentry roll? That involves tools. You don't have it. So yeah, nature, investigation.
Well, shit.
You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm
That's
gonna
a
do
3.
something.
A 3. It is too hard to tell based on where she's at in the process. So you don't have anything that gives you a clue.
It's not that I don't want you to do what you want to do, Nick. I just want to know what you're gonna do before you do it. Like, I feel like we don't work together as a party. We just do whatever we want, and then we try and hope everyone tags along. But like, how about we like set up camp and then figure out a game plan and then get into
The
things?
only time that has permanent consequences is when it involves combat. But if we're just talking involves permanent consequences. But talking is less violent, and I'm just talking. I'm not being violent. I pinky promise. Do not pull your sword out.
You keep throwing this aggressive title on me. I'm not trying to be aggressive at all. You've been doing that this whole game. I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying that, like,
You're gonna make me pull up odds.
Like, logically, if you want someone to be a part of your plan, like, do you think our characters have enough trust where I'm just like, yeah, let me give this to you? Like, even people in general want to know what's going on before they just, like, it takes a ridiculous amount of trust for someone to just give you something in just hopes. Like I feel like we need to, like, we don't roleplay enough of a dynamic. We just roleplay what's in front of us. But then it's like, where's the party building or the team building? Like, we got to get into that. Let's do that.
He's saying roleplay that crap. He's saying roleplay.
Yeah, that's so in
asking
translation.
us what you want.
RP it. She's whittling.
What did you see? I didn't see anything.
Whittling, is that like wood carving?
All right.
Yes.
She's whittling. I walk up to her slowly.
Yeah.
And I take my bow from off of my back, and I say, "Now, I would like to give this to you as a token of the potential forging of a future, not friendship, but mutual."
All the brothers kind of they're like trying to hold in laughter. They're like choking up a bit because they're eating. They're visibly trying to not start laughing. And she kind of looks over and goes, I don't need a bow. I'm
No. Now, before you cut me off, let me explain to you the story of this bow. Now, this bow
What the hell?
passed down from my grandpappy to my grandpappy to my papa to now me. Now, this bow was not carved from mere wood. No, it was carved from the finest deer horn of the Feywilds. these were retrieved in a time before regulatory means on the hunting, before it was full of all kinds of wackos. This was when the Feywilds was still wilds. Now, this is a piece of history, and I would like to exchange this with you for whatever it is you might be handcrafting there as an artist of your own works. And we may...
I accept money, not bows. Money.
I don't have any... Money is not of importance.
Can I walk up to her?
The bow's not going to help me because I have 3 brothers with bows. We don't need another bow. Yeah, you can't walk up to her.
I'm gonna ask her, how much is that little carving you were doing right there?
I haven't finished it, so I can't really put a price to it yet until I get an idea of how well it turns out.
Yeah.
I just started it not like an hour ago.
More people are more simplistic.
And when do you think it would finish?
No.
It depends on how much peace and quiet I get to work on it. Is given
by this woman's lack of care for our surroundings. She would rather get gold.
Who are we looking for, you guys?
The camp right behind them.
Orders. I am disappointed.
I'm gonna. What is she carving? Is she carving like?
Making
Can I try
an investigation or a nature roll?
Yeah, I kind of want to. Yeah, because since I was looking at her, I kind of want. Can I roll that too?
Yeah.
Investigation.
Can I also roll it now?
Why not the little check to look at?
No, you're looking for something valuable, buddy.
I rolled a 5.
I already finished doing that. I found
It is too early in the process to get an idea of what the outcomes.
I got an unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20. Okay, you have reason. You have actually. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, real quick.
What?
Oh.
And what's going on? So that we can think.
I rolled an 18.
Most importantly, Raina is the
I need everyone to shush for a second.
Or you have to be literally on the VIP list and then the top of the VIP.
Yeah, so they can see through and talk.
Yeah.
Pippin.
Combat, it results in
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Figure it out without that.
No.
This doesn't need to be a violent.
Ragnar and Pippin, Nick and Kutray, can you guys
What?
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we're game planning right.
Yeah, no problem. Shush. Nihilus, as you're looking at the soft wood that is being whittled, you see the top portion of something that you have not seen in a long time.
What?
Wait a second.
You've had dreams before that felt as if they were traumatically ingrained into your being. Something that was only explained to you in childhood as a result of your birth. These dreams entail creatures of this fusion of ghostly spectral form, so like the wispy humanoid frame, but consumed by all fire, warped into this entity of volatile wrath that only breathes destruction, utter destruction, to everything it touches, because it is fire, it is flame incarnate, and it carries no heart, it carries no soul, it carries no desire to care for the things around it. And every time that you've seen these things in dreams when you were younger, it always resulted in the Chandlewood being burnt down. It always resulted in your home being destroyed.
My God.
It is an entity that is quite similar to that. And because of how well you rolled on your wisdom save, you do not show what it is that you may be processing right now. You keep your composure.
What?
Phew.
It's kind of nuts.
I'm just go different. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, I'll be on my way, but let me know when that carving's finished.
I'll look right for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk away. Like, I'm not gonna look distressed or anything, but just walk to the camp that we need to go to.
Yeah. But I guess on with you then, and kind of looks towards the rest of you guys as she's like has an open arm to keep walking.
I don't mean to bother you any more than we already have, but do you have any finished pieces of work?
Couple. I made a few bad totems earlier.
May I see them?
Sure. Why is there a thumb next to your face?
Yeah, I just saw that too. Someone gave me a
Why?
thumbs up. It wasn't me. My hands are here.
Hold on. She goes to like a small, kind of like chest that they have, and opens it up, and it's kind of just like
Wait, what did you mean? I'm confused what you meant by the thumb.
They're on my name, over my face,
on the
on
camera.
Discord. A
You're
thumb
not watching
popped
the
up.
camera. There's like a thumb, like a little bubble thumb.
Like someone liked it, but like a thumb
Yeah,
pop.
it's like a thumbs up that like was
Yeah.
next to his face, and I was like,
Oh, no,
Did you guys hear that noise?
it's Nihilus.
Okay, because the airhorn was mine. But I don't know what the thumbs
She
up
pulls
was.
out two different bear totems, one that is that of a mother and her cub, and one of a bear kind of standing at full attention, kind of classic paws out with like the roaring face.
Can I try and insight like some intent behind it, or
No,
I don't.
they just seem to be whittling carvings.
Nothing special or anything.
No, it's quite. I mean, it's reasonable that people with druidic ties, as you imagine all of these attendants have, would do stuff that would result in things like this. It doesn't carry any type of like cultic symbolism to it. It's almost just quite literally just a bear. Not threatening.
Well, one more thing. Could you draw or could you carve me a symbol of this? And then I'm gonna like grab a stick off the ground and carve the triangle with the line cut through it. Or like not carve, but draw it in the dirt with the stick.
I could. Yes, I could probably carve something like that. Do you want it on a block, or do you want it on?
Do you have any string or you could connect it to?
Like a necklace?
Yes, a necklace or pendant or whatever you'd like to call it.
She looks down at it again and looks back at you. I could. It's kind of quite an unusual geometric shape, don't you think? Not really sure why. Is there any importance to it?
You know, we all get attached to weird things in our life, as I'm sure you know of.
Yes. Fortunately, she looks over at her brothers. I do.
This is a bad idea.
I think.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'll get started on it. I can't promise it'll be done. I'll do my best.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, you may, Ragnar.
Clarify what you wanted to insight. I don't think you heard. I don't think you heard the first one.
I think.
I think you want to insight the second.
Wait, I want to insight when she looked at her brothers.
Okay.
Okay. I got a 13.
A 13. You've seen a look shared like this before when you were in the gladiator pits. Normally, this type of a look would have been shared between members of a knowing party that are trying to not give off that they know what they just saw. So you've reason to believe that they're very aware of what that symbol is, and they're trying to not give that away.
Wait, what?
Ethan, it would be reasonable for me to insight that with her looking in back behind her right in front of me, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Is it okay if I still insight that?
Yes, yeah. Try
Okay.
next time to do it in the moment.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good. No, it would have been reasonable for you. I'm not going to punish you on this one.
When is a good time? Because like I don't want to interrupt. So like if someone says they want to do
If
something,
I'm saying something and you think it sounds sussy baka, you say insight immediately. Like if you're talking with them, yeah. If you don't like what you see and you're the one speaking, you go ahead and insight. If you're not speaking, go ahead and do kind of what Trey did, where it's like, hey, can I have incited when she looked at her brothers, so then I can get an idea and we can go back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I got a. Is proficiency bonus a +3 right now?
It is. Yeah.
Then I got a 22.
22.
Yeah.
You actually can tell one of the brothers perks up instantly after you draw that symbol in the sand, and all the brothers start immediately kind of looking at each other and grabbing their bows. Now they're not unsheathing them, but they're kind of like grabbing onto them in like a very, very subtle way that would be very advantageous for a quick draw if they needed to do so. And then they begin to look at each other and look towards Lighton, because they're very aware of what it is that you just drew.
Do you have a price for this type of thing?
I don't normally sell things like this, so I'll say, 10 gold is yours?
That seems fair. I mean, fuck. It's hard to think on the moment. Fuck. That's a fair price, I believe.
Good.
Do you have an estimate of when it might be done?
I hope to have it done by the morning.
You know, I might pay extra for your due diligence on the work. And the cult of the Black Earth pays well. But I whisper that in like very quietly to her, and say we don't seek to harm you. We're merely one and the same. Fuck it. I don't know. We're going with it now. Fuck it. Well,
she looks at you and with a look of disgust.
Fuck.
Says, "We're nothing like you."
Weren't these guys friends? Like, don't they have the tunnels all connected?
I think they might be fearing us, or like what? Because like you drew that symbol. I don't think they like the people who are affiliated with that at all. Like that's.
But
what
I
got
thought these
from that.
people were affiliated. Okay, well I'm learning. Anyways, sorry.
I never told you how they related to each other. So
That is fair. I made some bad assumptions.
No. You're doing what you can with the information I gave you. We're letting it happen. I like it. Make mistakes. Do good things. Do crazy things. Be out of pocket. We'll figure it out. But yeah,
I'm really trying not to
She gives you a look of disgust and is like, "We are nothing like you, and we never will be."
If only that weren't so far from the truth, my friend. You will come to see. Believe me.
May the flames illuminate your path. It seems you will need it.
And may the earth turn black beneath your feet.
Those people.
I came up with my own saying, Ethan. All right, she said something cool.
Yeah, she looked at you with a bit of confusion there and goes, "May it, yeah."
And I'm gonna give her the time.
Puts her arm out. You may carry on if you wish. I will not hold you up.
I'm gonna drop like a little baggie of 10 gold, almost as if like you'll see me again. This is a promise of it for the pendant.
She catches it and goes, "Very well."
And then I'll head off.
Can you paid up front?
Pippin, make a perception check for me, please.
Interesting.
Ragnock as well. Nihilus had already mentioned that she was moving on, so actually in a moment I'm going to be swapping over to her because Nihilus is already with Garena. So I need you two, because you guys haven't moved on, to make a perception check.
17. 7.
7. Both are fails in this instance.
Damn.
So I cannot tell you what. I can't tell you anything.
That's messed up, bro. I wasn't even doing that.
I know. That was why I had you roll a perception check. Yeah, so you guys can feel free to move if you wish.
We go to the next closest camp.
Yeah, and so as you're walking up, you actually already see that Nihilus is in chat with someone. So Nihilus, we're gonna take a step back. We're gonna take a step back here, as because you walked off a bit ago, and you arrive at a bonfire that's a little bit smaller than any of the other ones that are here. and there's an elven woman in robes that's playing a fiddle as two sprites dance around the smoke above the fire. And it's this pretty, like, upbeat and up-tuned fiddle that is a little bit more, while it's very bright and vibrant and upbeat, faster pace. It's very melodic, so it's not a rhythmic tune, not like a dancing tune, but a very upbeat kind of song. It's like kind of like a song of celebration. And
Does it give me like tavern vibes?
No. Those would be rhythmic songs because they want you to dance
okay.
while merrymaking. The sprites that are with her are kind of fluttering around and kind of dancing around the fiddle and around the fire that they have. So you can see the fiddles kind of being played for them. And as you approach, you hear kind of like a as the fiddle stops and the note kind of goes flat, as she's very well aware of your presence. And the sprites kind of slow and they're bouncing as they're around the fire, and she kind of puts the fiddle down off to the side and looks over at you and goes in the elven tongue. Do you know elven by chance?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
I don't.
that's fine. So in the elven tongue, just looks at you and says, "Halo du Sadwi."
Oh wait, no, I know Elvish. Never mind.
You do? Okay, so she's offering a salutation. She looks over at you and says, "What a merryful night today is."
It is. I didn't mean to intrude. I mean, you can still play your. Is it a lute?
It's a fiddle. No need to
fiddle?
stress
Okay.
about it. I'm just spending time here with my friends, Flix and Aphid. So it's really of no consequence. We'll be picking it up by the time you depart.
And who is the person we're looking for? One more time. I need to write this down.
You guys were trying to speak with Garena, which was this fiddler.
About what?
Great question. That is still what I'm wondering.
Yo, why don't we get talk to this lady?
The druids at the base of the
Out of-
bonfire said that the other most hospitable person here would be Garena.
Out of game for a moment. So like players outside of the D&D world. But my whole intent with the whole initial spiel of those guys at the start was just to get us in so that we can start talking to these other camps, try to figure out as much of what's going on as we can, so that when we get to that final building at the very end, we have a game plan for it. But these people here, these camps outside don't know that we're traitors. Or not traitors, but enemies. And so we can take advantage of that, gain information, ask them kinds of questions.
Wait, how are we
That's what we're
enemies of
doing.
them, though?
Wait, what?
How are we enemies of them?
Because as far as we're aware, these druids are doing a ritual out here that is not in line with our cause. It's not necessarily like the most evil thing, but it's also not.
No, this all is
We're
supposed to tie in
we're
with each
also
other.
pretty sure that fire or the tiefling that you want to kill, Omar, is here right now. Is the other reason.
We're not just here out of personal vindication. We're here because this ties in with the rest of our investigation, with the whole shit that we've been finding in the cult.
It's hopefully the tiefling with the next piece of the key for us. So that's the ultimate end goal. And so this what's it? Not Elazar. Grena. This Grena person seems like they are the key to the Vanifer. So we need to figure out how we can get as close to Grena as possible, so that we can then get close to Vanifer. Now that's my line of logic right now. But if anyone has anything different, then we can discuss.
Well, I think I think that's fair, but I think you need to communicate it as Pippin, because I don't think we should be doing this out of character. Because I think in character.
Well, he's not there, and Omar was questioning.
Yeah, because I felt kind of lost. So.
Yeah, I felt like I made it pretty obvious that I was completely bullshitting these people just to get us in.
Yeah,
I honestly thought you were just rambling just because.
That's exactly the point, to get us in so that we can talk to them and gain information. You can gain a lot of information by being the fool.
I know what your intent was, but my perspective, you were just beating a dead horse. Like I feel like you needed to try a different approach or go in a different way. But
Okay,
it just seemed like you.
I'll say it in
All right,
advance.
let's for the sake of things, let's critique that later, because Nihilus is talking to Garena right now, and so let's figure that out.
So, yeah.
So Nihilus, Garena looks at you and has put the fiddle down. Is there anything I can get you? Do you need a drink? Are you here alone by yourself, or she kind of looks over down the pathway, or are you with that colorful group of people?
I'm with that group.
Yes, well,
I would ask some questions, but I'd rather them be there with me,
okay.
if you don't mind.
I don't. I don't. And she. The offer for refreshments and stuff still stands. Do you need anything? You hungry?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. At about this point, we'll say enough time has passed that the remainder of you guys are starting to head over. And so as you are approaching, you hear the end of the conversation of like, is there anything I can get you? It's like, oh no, thank you, I'm all good. And so Garena looks over in your guys' direction and goes, in the Elven tongue, Halu du Sadwi.
What does that mean?
I speak Elvish.
Elvish, it's basically like what a wonderful night tonight is.
Can I say indeed it is back in Elvish?
Yeah, so you in Elvish you'd speak back. I'm quite impressed that one of the chromatic kin knows our Elvish tongue.
Wait, does she say that in Elvish?
In Elvish, yeah.
Damn it.
Thank you.
How did you
I learned
How
it
did you
one
come across learning that speech?
way. One of the people that I've been in battle with taught me.
You fought alongside elves?
No, he wasn't an elf. He was a kobold. But he was.
I
he
have
was
so many
part-
questions. I have so many questions. There's a kobold that knew Elvish.
Yes,
How?
he was a genius.
A kobold?
Yes.
Compared to
What's that?
what?
Sorry?
Compared to a dead log?
He was a dear friend of mine, and very.
Okay. Well, I that sentiment has come across. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I am just quite caught off guard. I've never met any of the kobold kind. One, to be considered friendly, and two, to be considered smart.
Wait, was that DM allowed?
Huh?
Did you allowed that as part of his backstory?
Don't worry about what I allowed. Don't worry
Damn.
about that. Don't question me. I will kill you in a heartbeat. Question me again. Oh, bears flying down from the... It'll be raining rocks. And I don't mean boulders. I mean large dragon-sized birds.
Hey, I'm
Rocks.
not questioning it, dude. I was just making sure I could love it.
So she kind of pauses that conversation. The two are engaged in Elven speech for a little bit, and then turns to the remainder. Tonight's a great night. Sorry if it seemed like you didn't kind of catch on to that. The name's Garena. I don't have a lot of things on hand. Are you guys good? It seems like you guys have just arrived shortly. Do you guys need refreshments? Are you hungry? I can whip something up really quick. It wouldn't be that big of a problem.
They'll speak with me. Common.
Wait, she's speaking in common right now?
Common, yeah. She's like apologizing for the Elvish.
Oh, the bow is still on the table if you would want it.
This is a different person. What do you mean?
Oh, fuck. Never mind. Sorry, I thought Graino was.
Pippin's all like turned around and she's like,
No. I take it back. I take it back.
I would love food and refreshment if you are offering.
with a snap of her finger, she casts create food, and a big pot of stew immediately conjures over the campfire that she has. Help yourself, and then she snaps again and casts create food and gets small bowls of rice, and so you guys can it's a beef stew that you can have over a white rice.
Ragnar makes 3 bowls for himself.
Do you have anything lighter on the stomach?
What were you thinking of?
Rice can be pretty
Well,
heavy.
What? Worms. Okay, I don't know.
I'm
Broth
not
can
going
be
to summon. I'm not going to summon earthworms so that you can eat them.
I tend to stick to more of a less carbohydrate filled
Well,
diet.
usually when people refer to heavy, so they refer to sodium.
She
With-
casts create food and gets you a small bowl of oats and grains.
This is
Oh, what the?
perfect.
You got
Thank
oatmeal?
No, not wet oats, dry oats.
Red
This
meat
is-
butter.
Oats
This
and
is
grains.
perfect.
What?
Thank
Like
you.
medieval bird food.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Oh,
Bird
okay.
food.
Seeds.
Food nibbling on seeds.
Mr. Planters. I didn't say.
So, I mean, hey, if it really helps, if we're gonna really talk about packaged nuts, you guys, if you guys want, you can have some of D's nuts.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Hot,
That's funny. What the
hot
hell?
cheddar peanuts, dude.
Bro, I've never
Where'd you get that?
The
had
store.
one.
You can get them at www.grabdsnuts.com. Mrs.
Are they
Mrs.
good?
D, everyone loves D's nuts. That was not a paid sponsor, by the way. That was just I could not let that opportunity skip me.
I wish they'd sponsor us, dude. What
Wouldn't that
the?
be fun? If only I knew about D's nuts.
If only.
Wow. So while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a handful of D's nuts, and then put my handful of D's nuts into my mouth.
Someone's laughing way too hard right now.
Ethan, timestamp 122.
No,
You're timestamping Ethan?
no. Because the problem with that is it wasn't offensive. It was witty wordplay on my packaged nuts because you said planters.
I should have remained silent.
You should have. Wrong place at the right place at the right time. So,
It was perfect.
anyways, you guys are eating, and she kind of looks over you and goes, "So, you guys seem to be new arrivals. I take it you're all here for the right of the Wicker Giant."
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe. It's a giant. I mean, we could fight it.
What?
The right of the wicked giant.
We're not gonna fight a giant. What the heck?
Here we
Trey
go.
wants to fight it.
We're gonna die if we do.
Oh,
No,
I don't want to. Janet's them.
we fought giants.
the Wicker Giant.
Get out of here.
The Wicker Giant is the giant bonfire at the top of the hill.
We'll fight that.
You're getting me scared. We're gonna fight a
Literally,
bonfire?
like in front of the tower that is Scarlet Moon Hall, there is a giant wicker. It is a giant bonfire that's the shape of a man, and that's on fire. It's been burning the whole time.
You still fight it.
Letting you know, I've been avoiding that burn man. I've been avoiding looking at that.
Burning Man? It's not a real person.
The bonfire. It's an, I know it's not a real
it's a
person.
giant. So a wicker is like entirely like a wicker,
wicker-
giant. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
wicker
yeah.
basket. It's a giant bonfire man. It's not a man in a bonfire. It is a it's a wooden man that is on fire. Bonfire. So she looks at you and says, "I hear. I think you know. Are you here for the right of the wicker giant?"
Yes.
Why else would we be here? Ha 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 ha.
Well, to be completely honest, it's my question because I've traveled the Desmond Valley for quite some time, and I see that you guys are not your average humble bumble of adventurers. I've never heard of this rite before, and so I'm incredibly concerned and confused as to why it's happening. Or, and kind of looks up towards the giant, why it's taking so damn long to get started.
Insight.
Sure.
I'm gonna insight why it's taking so long.
I think she's bullshitting us.
You can't insight that specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then never
because you also have no idea because you didn't know there was a time frame.
I got a 19.
19. She seems to be very honest in her concern. She seems to have a level of concern that is protective.
Are you saying? But that's all that I can judge of her. I can't judge that this concern is directly correlated towards. I just sense that she is honest about her concern. That's all. But
yeah, she hasn't said anything subtle. She said incredibly upfront. Well, I'm glad that you're here for it because I don't know what the heck it is. She said straight up, I've never heard of it before, and I don't know why it's happening.
So she's, from my understanding, she's being honest about that.
Yes, yeah. She's very honest about her concerns. She has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, brother.
So why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, she might honestly, like, we could probably spill our beans to her and she wouldn't snitch.
Okay, let's wait before we do that.
Yeah, let's not do that just yet.
I'm saying, like, as far
The
as
reason why I'm here is probably for the same reason why the four of you have decided to not cover up any of your insignias. And if you think that any person behind you hasn't seen the fact that you have four members for some of the greatest factions in this country, then you're absolutely idiotic. I'm here because I'm concerned. The fact that they're burning a giant wooden man at the top of this hill, and I am quite an experienced druid with at least a few centuries under my belt of ritualistic magic. I've not once heard of this rite. I know not
Have
what
I
it
seen
came.
something like this?
I know not what it does. I know not what they're here for.
Then it looks like we're in for a new experience. The both
You have not heard of it because you haven't not heard of it.
Okay.
You give it away.
I believe there to be something weird going on here as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll be here to experience it with you. Hopefully, I can call you an ally.
Hopefully. You plan on fighting all of them up there? Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't have to fight anyone here.
Oh, you
But
think
if
you
it
think
turns
you
in-
think you think that with that absolute manic priest at the top of the hill that you're not getting away without killing someone? I'm positive that my understanding of what's going to happen is that people are going to be thrown into that bonfire. And I don't know why.
Is this my first time understanding that or hearing that someone might be thrown into the bonfire?
What are you talking about? I've never told you that someone's going to be thrown in the bonfire. Yes, it's the first time I've told you.
I was just making sure. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be the dumbass where.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm
I
over,
told you.
dude. I didn't realize I've been gaslighting you guys so hard that you're second guessing everything. I'm doing well at my information game, man. Come on.
I'm trying to do better at my. I've got a little notepad on my fucking
desktop. It's the first
desktop.
time that you've been told that someone might be thrown into the fire. You've nothing to confirm that, though. This is a hunch that she seems to have had.
Why do you think this?
Why is because directly across from us, there's another few sets of camps, right? The furthest one, they arrived here before I got here. The ones that are at that camp are not the same ones that I saw arrive here.
So they've been replaced somehow.
Somehow. I don't think they've been replaced. I think that the... She puts in, like, air quotes, like, their persona, their space has been replaced. No, I have a fear that they threw them into those flames.
they wouldn't.
And how long have you been here?
Been here for well over 2 days. And in the past 2 days, those fires have burned.
I want to butt in. Did they all look the same, or did some of them look a little different?
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what they look like, does it?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what they're, or I guess more so who they're. Because it sounds like what you're saying is that there's some kind of offering that is going on here, and so I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think there's some kind of offering. She points at you. I think you're the offering.
Me, but
What?
have they all been gnomes, or is it just that it's people who
No.
aren't part of them?
You just kind of Are you not paying
She
attention?
means us.
Are you not listening?
The
to
group.
me? People,
No,
strangers, people who are not that are not a part of whoever's up there. Strangers, outsiders. They're the offering. To what? I don't
So wouldn't
know.
that include you then, since you don't know?
Yes, that's why I've been quite cautious. I'm ready to leave at a moment's notice.
And you haven't done anything about the innocent people walking up to sacrifice themselves, even
Yes.
though you've been aware of this.
She looks at your holy symbol and says, well, I don't believe in throwing myself into suffering for no apparent reason, so I'm not going to lose my life if it means potentially saving one, if it ensures that I'm going to die. It's not worth it.
Well, you might not sacrifice yours, but I will with mine, and you better be there
Look.
to defend me
Oh,
and rescue these people
if you
if
plan
it hits the...
I can assure you, faithful one, if you plan on being reckless, the only person who will be backing you is the grave that you will fall into. If you plan on being smart, you might be able to get my alliance.
I will
But
not be
you're
reckless.
not going to win an argument of morality with me.
I-
I've seen
I-
far too many of your kind burn people at the stakes for witchcraft and sorcery. I've seen far too many of your kind impose restrictions on people that have no apparent meaning other than to ensure that there's peace and stability. So I care not from which your morality flows. What I care for is whether or not there are people dying, and if a few people have to die in order for me to figure that out, then so be it. The price will be paid as long as justice prevails at the end. Now you can suffer. You can suffer as your god does, or you can choose not to. I choose not to.
Suffering is not a choice. It is merely a part of living. I understand I cannot force my ideals onto you, and I apologize. I was too forthright. But as long as you and I are working together, I will not sacrifice anyone. And I would appreciate it greatly if you choose to sacrifice someone, if you sacrifice me before you choose to sacrifice another innocent. And I will gladly take that place. But I don't want to lose your alliance, and you seem like a powerful druid that might be able to aid us here.
This is it to be seen. But
Shut up.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna wait with you.
I don't know how long we're going to be waiting. It's been 2
Let's
days
not-
and that fire's been burning.
Yeah, I'm
Let me hit.
Gone out?
I'm talk to the other camps if anyone wants to come along.
Um, I might come. I just have one more question or a few more. Just did you ever notice a consistent pattern to when people were being sacrificed, or a time of day, or a certain thing that happens?
I haven't even heard a scream to confirm whether or not they've been thrown into fire. So,
What's strange is why didn't they take you if you've been here for so long? 2 days and they haven't taken you?
it's a good question.
Can I insider?
Mhm.
I'm sick and tired of betrayal. I want to make sure.
Man, I'm doing well on that, huh? And this campaign's going to cause you guys to go to therapy.
A 15.
A 15. Her current like reaction is giving off the idea that she kind of feels as if she accidentally just backed herself up into a corner of potentially being suspicious. And so it's kind of like a, you got me there. Like, I have no idea why I haven't been taken yet, and it does seem suspicious because of that, and there's not much I can do to allay that, other than confirm I have no idea.
Has anyone come up to you at all in the last 2 days? Spoken to you?
I met Fly Dragon once. He just was wondering about my fiddling. That's about it.
Is that an actual dragon?
No, he's an old man.
Oh,
What, he lives on top? In the
Yes,
tower?
Yes.
Guys, if there was a real dragon, we probably would have heard about it. Like
What did he ask you? What did he tell you?
He asked me some questions about strength, purpose, determination,
And what did you reply?
with my opinions on strength, purpose, and determination. We conversed about it. He shared his insights and consistently correlated them with fire and flames, as it appears his piousness is inclined towards.
Yeah, I bet that fella.
I, on the other hand, just based it in balance.
Yeah, Pippin.
Strange.
I said it. I said Pippin knows.
Can I kind of? I want to kind of. Excuse me, and Nihilus, can I speak to you for a moment? And I want to see if she'll come off to the side with me. I say this to you, Nihilus.
While they do
Sure.
that, can I try to distract for them?
Oh, I mean, I'm not sure.
You can just talk to Garena and it'll keep her preoccupied.
Yeah, we're not being sneaky. He's just pulling me aside.
Yeah, he's just
talking.
pulling her aside. Yeah, so you guys will just be having a casual conversation, and then so Nihilus and Oslak, you guys go ahead.
Nice.
I want
Yes,
to know
Oslak.
what's up there, and I want to know what's really going on. But I'm not quite the stealthy folk. But I do have a spell, and I know you don't enjoy taking risks for others. But I was wondering if you would go up there if I casted invisibility on you, just to confirm or deny and really give us a better understanding of what's going on around where we don't have access to.
So you want to use me? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, that's not how I meant. If you word it like that, it sounds bad, Nihilus. Nihilus, I don't. If I could go up there myself, I greatly would. And if you're right, I shouldn't send you up there. You're right. If anything happened, it would be my fault, Nihilus. You're
I
right.
can go up there. I can go up there.
You know who has a +10 to stealth?
Are you? Nihilus, don't let yourself get hurt for me, though. If anything bad happens, you leave immediately.
Okay.
All right, you don't seem that concerned, or it's not nearly as concerned. All right. Well,
I mean,
you
we could use the little one right there, and I point to Pippin.
wait. You have a +10 to stealth, Nick?
Yeah.
I have a
Oh,
+9, so he has better stealth than I do.
I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't
By
know that.
1 point. Wow. That's such the difference.
Yeah, right. You
Fucking
could talk to the little man over there.
I'm invisible if there's
He
dark.
might be.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no point in keeping secrets. I'm not sure why I felt this needed to be private. We can.
Wait,
Here.
and it's dark outside, right?
Yes, it is nighttime.
All right. So while he's talking to me, I want to disappear into the shadows and go invisible.
You like go invisible yourself?
Yeah. It's part of my Gloomstalker class abilities. If it's dark in the area that I'm in, I can step into the shadows and become invisible unless they have magical dark vision.
Hmm.
Ethan sounds hesitant on that one.
No, he's looking it up.
Get me, bro. It's for sure.
Well, and you can just use it as much as you want.
Yeah.
As a Gloomstalker?
I mean-
forget it. Hang on. Let me double check where it's at. I'll
Right.
I'll-
Wait,
Rangers
how
are
was yours
kind
a
of-
+10? I have a question about that. How was your stealth a +10?
Rangers are kind of dog shit classes
It's
anyway.
because of my canny. I have a
Right.
canny ability for it.
Rangers are really good situationally.
That's fair.
They tend to be jacks of all trades in terms of like investigation and.
All right.
But a
so,
master of none.
Okay.
as a Gloomstalker Ranger, I get Umbral Sight at 3rd level. I'm adept at evading creatures that rely on dark vision. While in darkness, I'm invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see me in that darkness.
Okay, so what
That's
are you?
not
That's
invisible.
actually
what-
really
So
good.
what are you trying to do with that then?
So while so he talked to Nihilus, right? He was like, "Hey Nihilus, can you do this for me?" So while he's doing that, I want to
Yeah.
disappear into the shadows.
Okay, so I understand that, but what are you trying to do with that? Because every area has a campfire around it, so I'm trying to get an idea of what you plan on doing with that.
So I
I
mean,
just want to when he turns to ask me, "Hey Pippin," I want to step back out of the shadows.
Oh.
Yeah. When I point
What?
to Pippin, like saying, "Hey, he can do it," and then we look, we're like, "Wait,
This
where
I
is he?"
saw your smile. I know you know what I mean.
Oh my god!
little fucking 3-foot fucking halfling. You called me? I'm here. Fucking.
Yeah, right out of the shadows, proud, tall, and ready to go.
This is fucking Pippin, dude. This is Pippin. Fucking. I'm here. Fucking.
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah, it's like a little hobbit. It's funny. It's funny. Okay, so you notice that as you're conversing, Pippin doesn't seem to be in your immediate area, and that's kind of confusing. And then when Nihilus inclines, like maybe Pippin steps out of the darkness and magically appears.
was stupid.
I heard that my skills could have been of use. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're right. I've been ignorant. I wasn't aware you were this capable in the arts of stealth. Pippin. That was quite a neat skill, but I think my invisibility spell might do you better. Would it be okay if
Just to be clear, what is it you want me to do again?
I just want us to scout and get a better understanding of what's really going on around the bonfire and if they're actually sacrificing people or not.
Okay. I can do that. But I need to know where is our rendezvous point? Because say, for example, I leave right now, I check that bonfire, and then I leave that bonfire to come back to you guys. Where do I then go?
If
We have one more camp on this left side of the main pathway.
No. You have two camps on the right side.
Wait,
Of which,
because we're on the left hand.
I thought there was 3 on the left side.
There was. You already passed them.
Wow.
Garena had mentioned the 2 camps on the right side. One of them, the furthest one, are not the same people that came up with them.
Okay, so we should go to the first camp on the. So you guys,
you don't have to. You can
We don't-
if you want to.
the camps don't, we know where the main thing is going on. Like I think it's like a sectioned off area, right, Ethan?
But I'm saying
It's not
Right.
sectioned off. You
Okay.
just haven't gone up there. And if you guys want invisibility and send someone up there, that's actually a really good idea. You guys should totally do that.
Out of game though, if I go up there and then I look and then I need to come back to where you guys are, where are you guys gonna be when I come back?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to talk here. Yeah, I was gonna respond. I am so okay. Well, if you're undiscovered and you can safely come back, I don't see why we don't just meet back here. But if
because these people are gonna be like, why are you hanging around? They like leave. Why are you here? So you guys, the 3 of you should go to the first camp on the right side of the pathway and talk to them so that when I'm done looking, I can come back to you guys and we can all group back up and they'll be like, I was never gone. And then we can go to the last camp on the right side, is what I'm saying.
Why don't we just stay at this?
Because they're going to be, why are you fucking staying here?
You know what we can do though is that if they come up to us saying like, "Hey, why are you here?" Like, "Oh, we're with Garena. She was waiting for us while we were coming up there for this ritual."
well,
Or something. But I'd rather stay with her.
But
So if
I'm
you want to
trying
investigate
get-
the people,
I believe I understand what you're saying, Pippin, as we've made attention to ourselves, and you don't want them to see us and then notice that you're gone, and it might be suspicious.
Wait, so you guys all want to stay with Rain?
No, I like your idea. I wasn't thinking like that, but I believe it might be more beneficial if we all kind of walk around into a crowd rather than just stand in another spot. Because if we're all walking around not entirely together, they can't go, well, the group's not there. We're all kind of separated and they lose track. They can't all watch all 4 of us at once.
I don't understand. There's no groups. There's just campfires to go to with the different people.
I thought you were saying you wanted us to go because someone would look at us and go, why have they been here for this long? And I thought you were talking about...
That's correct. I'm saying that we should not stay next to Graina, because if we stay next to Graina, then it's a congregation of people, and then it's like, yo, that's a really big congregation of people. So if
she
continue,
she's just with herself with the sprites.
Garena's gonna jump in, but if the camp that you are telling your friends to go to has more people than me, that's a bigger congregation. Why is that the matter then?
It doesn't matter. I think it's...
Because as you, Graina, have observed, we are quite the different group of adventurers from the rest of the people here.
Right.
And our trend thus far has been to go to each campsite, talk to everybody for a little bit, and then go to the next one. So it would not make sense if we got to your campsite and stopped here and
Right.
did not talk to the other ones.
No, that's
because
reasonable.
that it
That's
does
fair.
have
That's a fair
to
point.
take you as
Just
well.
the
And then we
size of
put
the
Raina.
size of the group doesn't matter. It's matter the fact that you guys have seemingly stopped here. And it's more of a matter
Yeah.
of okay, well, why? I mean, you know,
Why?
there's a lot of different questions that you can have around that. But if that is what makes sense to you, and that's what you wish to do, then so be it.
I'm just telling you, the people that are in this kind of business that we are involved in right now, my friends, are the people who look at these things. They will go, we recognize that you stopped, and they will take dear Graina here, and they will use her against us. So we should
Well, I'm
not.
so grateful that you're looking out for me.
Yeah.
I could fly away if I so wished. Just flutter
I-
off like a little
I'm not
bird.
down for capabilities. I'm saying we need to be responsible for our decisions.
Okay, just don't add me into those responsibilities. I'm more than
Ethan.
capable of keeping myself safe.
This
Ethan
is more
saying this.
like a team.
Ethan saying this as a friendly NPC is him out of character saying you're overthinking it, and that part is we don't need to care about. That's what he's saying. Like I
I'm
like
just
the
saying,
idea.
dude, the last big villain we fought was Nox, and Nox was up our booty holes.
But you're
but I don't think
picking
we're gonna
Yeah,
fight
this
a
isn't not-
big villain
you're
tonight.
picking the wrong branches. Like you were onto something with the like. I like the idea with where you were saying if someone is watching us, because she pointed out that none of us covered our insignias. They all know that these fucking highly prominent clans
Okay.
people or whatever are in here. Wait, let me
Clans
finish.
people?
Let me finish. And I like the idea because so people's eyes are probably on us. So if we don't want them to know that we sent one guy off to do weird investigating, it would make sense to go somewhere else. But I don't think it would make sense for us to, as a group, go stand somewhere else and then have you split off, because then we're just doing the same exact thing, just moving spots. I think it would make more sense to split up entirely, because they probably don't, because then it would force them to have to use more eyes to try and keep track of us, and it would make more sense for them to lose one of them.
Okay, wait, so
That's
what do you
what
mean by split up entirely?
I just mean as like we're not all congregated. Like maybe we all just like while you're doing your exploring, we kind of just parade around, talk to the other people, but we're not standing in one place. We're in constant motion, switching from group to group, going weaving and bobbing throughout people, just like that fucking magic movie where they were.
That's all I was-
Just maybe, you talk to a few people and head back to the first camp. It was the first
That's what
camp
I
you
was-
came to.
beginning
camp
though, is
you
if you
stopped
guys
at?
go to one camp, that will be enough time for me to go look and come back, meet you guys, and then we can go from there.
That's good because of what I'm worried
I'm
about.
not gonna stay around. I'm gonna go look and leave.
Yeah, but what if you find something important? We have to stay a little bit longer, and then we go to one other camp. Something bad happens, and then we're down a person. We flee or something, and then you don't.
Yeah, but then we're playing too many what ifs, dude. We can play it one at a time. All right, listen. Ultimately, I don't care. I'll go look. You guys do something not sus.
That's fine with me. That was my plan. I agree.
You vent.
Okay.
You say you're gonna vent?
So
Ethan-
do you cast invisibility?
I'm going to it lasts for an hour, so you have that long, and then I'm gonna cast it on him, and then as he goes, I'm gonna leave and go to the original fucking camp we were at, and just pretend to be a part of them or whatever. Like set up. Would it be weird for me to cast? Yeah, that would cast attention to me. Never mind. I'm just gonna go with the first encampment.
Ragnarok, where are you going?
I'm gonna follow Nihilus. I'll be right back.
Nihilus, where are you going?
What? I wanted to stay with Garena, but I just wanted. Would it look strange if I did stay with her?
I cannot answer that question.
Yes. We need somebody to go to the next camp.
Follow your heart, Omar. Do what feels right, and
Well, I don't
learn
want
from the
her to, like-
consequences afterwards.
I just don't want her to get, hurt or anything like that.
Raina has been just
Oh,
fine.
but as a character, why do you care about this woman?
Don't worry about that. What do you do? Do you stay with Greta? You can. I can't answer any additional questions.
Damn it.
I can't.
I'll go
believe-
back to the. I'll
Man.
go back to the first camp.
Okay, you go back to the first camp. This entire
With
episode is
the-
sponsored by a
with
licensed
the dopey
therapist
druids.
at this point. This
What?
is crazy. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so Ragnar said he was going to follow you, so you guys all head down to the first camp.
Wait,
No,
wait, wait,
no,
wait.
not betray.
Ragnar.
Ragnar.
Okay, Ragnar, what would you do?
Can I go to the next camp?
Thank
To the first camp on the right side?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys are heading down, Ragnar and Pippin, roll an initiative roll for me, please.
Oh shit.
Pippin, because you have a better dexterity, I need you to roll at disadvantage because yours is because yours is going to take longer, and so I'm rolling a disadvantage because you have a better chance of beating Ragnar regardless.
15.
9.
Okay, Pippin. The invisibility is cast. You are not visible. You leave little footprints behind in the dirt. You still crunch stone, gravel under your feet, but you cannot be seen. The items that you are carrying and wearing are not visible. Do you begin to head towards the top of the hill?
Yes.
Okay.
Nick actually sneaks to the fucking woman's bathhouse for an hour and wastes my fucking invisibility at the woman's bathhouse
It's
like
a
a
good
peeping
thing-
tom,
it's a
dude.
good thing. It's a good thing. There's no women's bathhouse here, is there?
Thank God.
Yeah. So you
Lucky.
you
for
head
you,
up.
I'm
You head up the hill. You walk around a couple
Love
of
you.
camps.
Wait, look! I just did this and
See?
it put hearts on my
See,
screen.
yeah,
I
you
just
do a thumbs up.
look.
Do a thumbs up. It'll do a thumbs up then.
Ethan,
See?
come on.
Okay, that's how you
Hard.
do it. That's
It's
good.
not me.
I think it's
That's a
because-
him thing.
I
Anyways,
think it's because I'm on the iPhone.
Pippin, the invisibility's cast. You begin to walk alongside your companions, even though you cannot be seen, just so that the sound of your footsteps are not something you have to worry about. By the time they split off, you're at the crossroads. The hill goes up. Make a stealth roll for me, please. This is one of sound, not sight. So you roll it as
20.
is.
20.
A natural 20?
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. As soft as a gnome can across the stone, you ascend the hill. Beyond the ruins of walls that ring the keep's central tower is a courtyard cluttered with tents. A humanoid-shaped wicker giant that is 2 stories tall burns brightly here. 2 figures in robes stand near the wicker giant, their heads lowered in deep prayer. The tower behind is under repair with wooden scaffolding some 30 feet high stretching across the east and the western sides, lanterns hanging from struts and poles attached to the woodworks. 2 guards with crossbows watch the courtyard from the scaffolding to the west. Rubble chokes a wide doorway, likely once the main entrance, on the tower's south side.
I want to go south.
You are at the south.
I am at the south.
Yes.
Okay, so how
The
many
tower
different
has a
ways can I-
south side, but you are in a tower. You are in this courtyard.
How many different ways can I go? It's just 2, right?
If you look at the map, that I provided, there is the tower with the scaffolding on it, which is the biggest building that's on here. There's a lot of different ruins of the walls, as well as a couple of tents that are here.
You're talking about the bird's eye, right?
Yes, there's a large bonfire, which is the fire-shaped
Okay,
object
okay.
that stands at kind of the bottom end. You are at that southern entrance.
Okay.
There are 2 people. There are 2 people hooded that are in deep prayer by the giant wicker.
The bonfire is the. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Can I squeeze between those 2 buildings on the left and the wall to get to the far side of those buildings?
Those are tents, and they're affixed to the side of the wall, so you would just have to walk in front of the tents.
Okay.
That's
okay.
a good question, but no.
Never mind then. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go straight right and get behind the bonfire and just observe for a little bit.
You're going to head right.
Yeah, to get behind the bonfire.
Okay. You get behind the bonfire, softly moving, and the crackle of the flames kind of helps with the sound of your feet. So you move along the right side of the wall. You see at the southern entrance of the tower, which is like kind of what you can see in sight, an older human man who walks out. He's got a very kind of curved, bushy beard, a pipe in his mouth currently that has a bit of smoke coming out of it, hair that's pulled back, but it's kind of short. It goes just under the ear with a few white strips that cover his right side.
We assume that this is Fly Dragon.
You could potentially assume that. He's got red robes and these leather vambraces on his wrists and carries a large staff with a book that is affixed to his waist. And he walks out with his pipe in hand. And you also see what you guys didn't notice when I asked you to roll that perception check earlier. One of the brothers had run off. And you see that one brother is walking out of the tower alongside this man.
So the woodcutter.
They're talking, and you can't hear it, and they're talking. And then Fly Dragon, you correctly assume, looks up and goes, "My faithful." A couple heads start to poke out of the tents. Come on, I am not that quiet. The giant burns, my faithful. More start to get out of these tents. About 20 people in total, both from inside the tower and outside of the 4 tents that are around, start to gather in this courtyard. It has been brought to my attention that the blasphemers have arrived. Those well-equipped few who we have heard about in the visions of the flame that have dried the river and have cracked the earth. They come here to extinguish our flame. People start to gather and get a little bit closer. They're here to douse our faith. And a few are kind of whispering amongst themselves. Ooh, we won't let that happen.
Creepy. This is creepy.
It cannot be allowed to happen. Let this be a testament. He puts his hand up, or his left hand, because his right one's holding a staff. And from the tower, a woman bound and gagged is brought out of the tower. Let this be a testament of how blessed we are.
All right, Ethan.
The source of all flames, Imix.
Ethan.
Yeah.
I have a spell, and it is called Pass Without Trace. Now, what I'm assuming...
You cannot cast that spell while you're invisible. If you use an action to attack or cast a spell, your invisibility would drop.
Darn it, dude.
You are stuck. And furthermore, you start to look over in the direction of... You start to look over in the direction of the courtyard entrance to potentially scope out an escape. And there are a few people that are blocking that path now, where the gathering has gotten. Because this cultic congregation bringing this woman out into the center of the courtyard is starting to move in a way that kind of maneuvers in that direction, kind of cutting off your escape from this space. Now, fortunately, you have an hour.
He does not watch. He just hears. He doesn't watch. I can't. There's nothing I can do.
This
Well,
woman
that's true. That's true.
was sent to us by the Knights of the Feathergale.
Damn it, dude. There's like 2 heartbreaks in a row.
One of their
I
own.
told you it was the fucking Feathergale
Hold on.
Knights. Sorry.
One of their own, deluded into protecting the world, not knowing she came to her blasphemous death. You look over in the direction just enough, and just for a brief glimpse, Pippin, and remember the one Feathergale Knight that you all had talked to for quite some time. The newest recruit. The one with grand...
Alright, I rush straight towards her.
There is unfortunately way too many people in this courtyard for you to let yourself be caught.
You could go get us, Nick. You could go get us.
He can't get out.
I have fog cloud, so I want to rush to her, cast fog cloud,
Oh,
grab
fuck.
her, and run away.
Pippin, I will encourage you very strongly against that. I know where Pippin's heart is. And in fact,
Just let it happen.
I give you a point of inspiration because I know you want to act in accordance to where your heart is.
Dude,
But Pippin does have rational faculties, and those
Dude.
faculties can see quite easily that you are surrounded, that you are not in a
Alright.
position to get caught, that you will have signed your death warrant as well as the death warrant of your friends if you are to be uncovered in this moment.
all right, I'll watch.
I will highly encourage you that what it seems that you want to do, as of right now, you do the exact opposite.
I don't
But
do
from
anything.
this point moving forward, I will not stop you.
All right, no. I get it.
The girl struggles against.
Yeah, I like my
The girl
wow.
struggles against
Bleeding.
her bindings. Tears that you cannot see, but can hear, sobbing amidst it. You don't see what happens next, but you hear what sounds like a blade slicing across flesh,
Damn.
the pouring of blood, and then the sound of a concussive thud as body hits cindering wood. The next is the smell. Human flesh does not smell well when it's being burnt.
Can we smell that down at the bottom, Ethan? The smell of
Yeah,
burning
I'll-
flesh?
Because there's way too many things in the air.
What's a freak
You hear,
bird?
this is what happens, my faithful, to those who think that they can escape Imix's beauty. Vanifer speaks to Imix directly. She knows his ways. She knows his divinity. We're not asked a question. We're not given the responsibility of deciding. We, in faith, act. When we're asked to move, we step. When we cannot see, we do not stop. There are those down there who are seeking our downfall. Brothers, sisters, as your shepherd, cannot allow that. I cannot watch as the same fate that has befallen the Keep of Riverguard and the Monastery of Sacred Stone to befall our very own Scarlet Moon Hall. I would be a failure if I were to do so. It is time to begin the rite of the fire. It is time to seek the divine. But there are some down there that do not know, and they never will. Get them and bring them here. Be quick. All of them immediately begin to brandish different types of weapons and start walking down the hill.
They know all of us? Do they know all of us?
As they begin walking down the hill, my other
At least you get
companions,
sneak attack, Nick. At least you're the one person that knows.
my
this is
other
happening.
my other companions, you
Oh,
all
shit.
very quickly notice an army of fire worshippers marching down the hill. There's no subtlety to that. Your direction, your attention is caught rather quickly as you see 10, 20, 30 of these insane fire cultists starting to march down this hill. Marching in your direction. Everyone's kind of standing up and watching. Everyone's got an idea of what's happening. The procession is not, it's not even like, it's not in disarray. It's not people walking in different steps. It's two solid lines of people marching down this hill in your direction.
I'm at a different camp than Omar and than Nihilus and Ragnarok, though.
You said you went to the first
The
camp,
first
right?
one, yeah.
So they're walking in your direction then.
See, you're closer.
Ragnarok is the one that went to the next camp, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine, Nihilus, did you go with Ragnarok?
I went to the very first camp we encountered.
Okay, so Nihilus, you are with Oslek. Oslek and Nihilus, they're marching in your direction. Ragnar, they quickly pass your camp. And as quickly as they pass your camp, about 10 of these people break off, and what you are too slow to be able to resolve is when a row of crossbows are drawn and fired into the people that you've just been talking with.
And I want to react. I want to react, Ethan. I want to react.
What do you mean?
We'll get to you in just a moment.
Dude, they just killed everyone but you.
As the crossbows riddle these other people who you've been speaking with for just a moment, one of which, by the way, his name is Saruki, and he's kind of a younger lad, a little bit of a river sailor. He says he's come over from the western side of the valley. You've started to get suspicions that he potentially belonged to Riverguard Keep, but those suspicions no longer matter because he's shot in the sternum with a crossbow bolt, and it drops him. The others were in the middle of sleeping, and you were trying not to rouse them from their sleep, and those crossbows caught them in different angles, and they either wake up screaming in pain, or are caught in an area where they cannot scream, but they die rather quickly. The rest of them move in your direction, and they're going to subdue you. Do you fight back?
Do I fight back?
You are heavily outnumbered.
Yeah. Of course, Ragnar fights back.
I absolutely fight back.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
You're hands-on with him.
Do I see this? Do we see this happening?
Hold on. So as those arrows go flying, you immediately pull out your hammer. Janice, grab them all in your hand, and you see a row of pikes that are dropped in your direction. You are, for the most part, overwhelmed. It's too many people. Elazar Flydragon, this older man, who you haven't had the pleasure of seeing, but this older man begins to walk down with a staff and a pipe in hand. He looks at you as the rest are still walking down the hill, giving you just a brief kind of glance over, and you can see he shouts kind of over the group. That one has been blessed, my faithful. That one will do just nicely.
Oh my gosh.
The other like 20-ish so people, begin going further south. They bind the two woodmen, the woodland men, like the lumberjack dudes, they bind them rather quickly. They throw their hands up. They're like, I'm not getting shot with arrows. They're quickly bound behind their back and immediately are starting to be brought up the hill. They go and get Garena. There's actually a few of these camps that are cultists in disguise. They begin to act and join the fray.
What the fuck?
So the ones with the bear, they're cultists. The girl and the brothers, they're cultists.
Damn it.
The camp that was on the other side of the guys that Ragnar was just at, they're also cultists. So Ragnar, you have about 5 people behind you. 2 of which are wargs, by the way. 5 people and 2 wargs, my apologies. 3 of those people are bugbears. And they kind of gather around you. And the remaining 20 march down to your direction towards the other 4. And it is you have about 8 or so crossbows pointed in your direction. And then the rest are all a mixture of swords and pikes that are dropped down as like a halt and a stop. It's a little bit of a tense standoff. And so I will throw it into you two's direction because the other 4 put their hands up.
Wait, I don't get it. Can I do something before they get down to me?
Yeah, I wanted
what
to
would you like to do?
fire. I wanted to kick the fire out of the fireplace or fire whatever, and like try to hide or like something.
I wanted to say something to Nihilus before they got to us.
Okay.
Nihilus, I will hold them off. I'm not going to try and I'm not going to sacrifice my life in a silly way. Believe me there, but please go make sure that Pippin is all right, and make sure, and we need to check on Ragnar too. There's some soldiers over there. I'll keep them distracted, but you're a lot more stealthy than me. You need to leave now.
Okay. I'll look for Pippin.
Make a survival roll for me, Nihilus.
What?
Yeah, make a survival roll.
Okay. Rival, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. 12. I rolled a 12. I was
You're
gonna try to like,
You're able to kick
go on.
enough dirt onto the campfire that this first camp has that dims the light, not extinguishes it. So
Okay.
by the time you're within crossbow range, which, by the way, a light crossbow in D&D has a range of 80 feet. And the map would put you just outside of that. So they can still shoot you. It's a little bit harder. But you do have about 8 crossbows pointing your direction while the rest of them are headed down. They still see you. They still know where you are. The other
Wait,
people
but
put their
if
arms
I
up.
were to run away from the fire, I mean, would that better my chances then?
It might get you shot.
As
So
he
it's
kicks
a risk that you may be willing to take.
as he kicks the fire off, I'm gonna start walking up to them with my shield in one hand and my weapon in the sky. Not like super aggressively, well, pretty aggressively, but not like I'm charging at you, but like I'm like a walk, like an intimidating walk, like come at me, like with my weapon and shield in hand, like just to kind of get their attention, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so you start walking out with your arms held wide open. The pikes are dropped in your direction, and several begin to kind of gather around you. The ones with the crossbows are still looking down towards the group behind you, so their attention is not drawn, other than the ones that are immediately around you. Ragnar,
Is this? Sorry.
You are surrounded on all sides. You have about 17 things in your direction, in your area. Listen, I love you. I love your bravado. You're a gladiator. You know when a fight is winnable. You know when a fight is not winnable. You know when you're like when you are good at fighting.
62 points of health divided by 17.
This
Only
is
like
not.
4.
This is not a winnable fight.
As a barbarian, you can take it.
You will go down fighting if you fight this. I'm not saying this is a
Never.
DM. I'm not saying this is DM to player. Well, I mean I am. Ragnar would understand, seeing the things around him, the types of people that these aren't just like guys in robes. These are people, to help give you an idea, these are people in armor. A lot of their guards have this like furnace-looking metal armor. Their pikes are on fire. Their swords and shields are gathered. They have goggles on to shield their eyes from excessive flame light so that they're not blinded. These people are ready. They're good with fighting. In the very same way that you fought the monks at the Sacred Stone Monastery that were encased in the stone armor, this appears to be the Flame Cult's equivalent of those, of the Stone Guard. These are not people that you could like this. You would go down. You would either take a lot of damage and be caught as a prisoner, or you could surrender and wait for a better opportunity, or you can hope that the gods bless you. But I am doing my best not to lie to you. I'm doing my best not to lie to you, and not to give you guys a false hope if you think that there's a chance here.
I'm trying to talk him into fighting right now.
That's 17 attacks. With
Fight.
Warpipe.
Yeah, but you're a barbarian.
That's 4 damage.
Dude, you know what a scorpion does, dude? It fights,
They
or
can
it
down me on end round. So you
Just-
Ragnar.
If you're
Ragnar.
prepared to lose Ragnar to fully play how you feel like his character
Ragnar.
would play, then go for
I
it.
mean, honestly, what everyone else has to say is irrelevant. Ragnar, what do you do?
if Ragnar is
You
okay
are by
with-
yourself. Your friends are not with you.
Let's say it like that.
If he's okay surrendering,
You
dude,
decided to walk off. You are alone. You are isolated.
Just because
Are you saying Ragnar is less than Ragnar?
Ragnar doesn't know where his friends are, and he knows it'll piss him off if he starts fighting, he's gonna super, super angrily put down Janice very gently and go on his knee.
That's character development.
Hey, give yourself a point of inspiration, buddy.
That's you know how
The
many
guards-
times Katray has been confrontational and we did not want him to be, and now he said because his friends will get mad because he's thinking his character developed.
Ragnar.
His character.
The
Sorry.
the guards grab Janice. Your rage is
Be careful.
not. Their filthy hands touch her handle. Your anger is visible. The priestly man, the older man, kind of kneels down and goes, "You share a fond attraction towards your weapon. You are a warrior. The fires love warriors."
Don't say that.
He puts a hand, puts a gentle hand on your shoulder.
Oh, good.
Break his arm.
You have been blessed by the flames. You are an avatar of her fury.
Because you're dragonborn.
You are going to witness one of the greatest things you've ever seen, and soon it will make sense. This is a first step on your road that you never thought you would have to take.
Okay.
It has been foretold, so fear not. Be concerned not. Your life begins.
It's fast.
A few of the guards come behind, and they immediately put you in iron clasps behind your back. Down to my companions at the base of the hill. What are we doing? You can see. You can see at the top of the hill that Ragnar is bound.
Whatever Nihilus is about to do, I've got my hammer and I've got my shield and my warhammer, and I'm banging it against the shield like I'm not an easy one to take down, and then just like causing a ruckus, just fucking.
One of the guards that's by you says, "We got too many. Put your hammer down. Put your shield down. Go peacefully, or you go on a pike."
Would I have seen that Ragnar was bound?
Yes.
Um.
And the other druids with you are surrendering as well.
I unsheathed Nightshade and I stab her into the ground.
No, stab
You're
her
not
in
gonna
the
run
first-
for it,
Well, they have crossbows aimed at me.
No one's like that.
So
but
there's a
it's
chance
at
that they can-
disadvantage because it's in the dark.
It's not long before the two of you are bound. By the way, I know this took a little bit of some time IRL. This was over in a few minutes, right? Because I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that Nick has an hour of invisibility. They take your things from you. They take your weapons. They search you down. They take your weapons. They strip you of your chainmail, just to get the breastplate and some of the bigger, heavier elements of it off. Oslek. Any secondary weapons, everything that if you have a crossbow, a light, anything, they take it off. You do not
They're
have
not
your
gonna take
weapons.
parts of your clothes off, right?
No, they're not going to take your armor off because your armor it's like that and then a shirt. They're
What do you think
they're
gonna
taking
fucking-
no, they're taking Oslek's armor off because it's super duper heavy. And so they're
You think they're gonna get you? This is a PG stream, Omar.
Yeah,
I don't know what you think we're
it's a
doing
fair
here.
question. It's a fair question because I immediately took your armor off. It's a fair question. It's a good question.
Plus, Nihilus is a girl, okay?
They bring the three of you up, and then they start putting people down onto their knees, and kind of like this Negan-esque fashion from that scene of The Walking Dead.
I haven't seen that yet. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I have not
You
seen
have you have surprisingly, Garena is nowhere to be seen, and you see the 4 druids who surrendered, as well as the 2 woodland men that surrendered. Pippin, you are still invisible. You're still up here. Okay, so you are still around. Okay. I'm going to be very, very mindful as I get to you.
Ethan, I'm so bad at you.
As I get to, that's fine. We'll be okay. As I get to, we'll just bear with me, Pippin, because I know what you're going to want to do. You watch in horror as your friends are brought to get before this wicker giant, and all of them are put onto their knees. And Elazar, basically, they're surrounded by this congregation of fire worshippers. Elazar Flydragon stands at the base of the hill with the giant. Out of the shadow of the tower, a woman walks out. Red skin, tiefling horn, tiefling tail, blackened hair.
No.
She walks out towards.
Did she play our ass?
She walks out towards Fly Dragon, kind of seeing his kind of like offering to her is what it looks like. He kind of gives a bow of respect, as well as everyone here does. Immediate bow of respect. And you hear in like bursts, the prophetess, the prophetess, the prophetess, the prophetess, blessed the fire, kissed of sun. Fly Dragon goes, uh-oh. Don't switch. Sorry. Fly Dragon goes, Vanifer, we are blessed with your presence. I have brought the unfaithful to you. She looks down and goes,
I'm keeping my head low.
Fly Dragon, you impress me greatly. I have not once doubted your faith, and I, from this moment forth, will not doubt your faith. She kind of opens up her, like, the robe part of her, because she's got this cloak on, right? So the cloak part she kind of undoes, and you can see her torso, and she has a dagger sheathed behind her back, which has a very intricate looking handle, and she begins to unsheath it. It's got a very curved arced blade that kind of ends at a point that looks like a flame. Like if you were to like draw it like a kid, how they have those little arcs and ends at a point, kind of looks like that. And it glows with a kind of like an orangish sheen to it. She draws that and looks out amongst the group. Our faithful. The Prince Born of Fire Emix has granted me, showing the dagger off like it's a divine calling, has granted me an assurance of our faith, an assurance of our purpose, all of them in unison, born in fire, dead in ash. We've all heard of River God Keep, we've all heard of the Sacred Stone Monastery. We know what will happen to our rivals over at Feathergale Spire if the unfaithful amongst this group are left to walk freely. Bring one to me. Elazar just points to a random one of the four druid guys. And they immediately pick him up, and he's like, no, hey, no, please, have mercy, please. And they push him into the ground, into the center. And he looks up. His hair is now like all down. He's sweating because of how close he is to the fire. He's shaking with fear. He kind of looks back, but is quickly kicked from behind as one of the guards that brought him up, like, kicks him in the side of the head, and he drops down. And Vanifer kind of looks down. No. Don't look back. Your former life is behind you. You will not need to see it ever again. I promise you. She kind of gets down and kind of softly holds onto his face. I promise you. As swift as she could, a dagger is plunged into his neck, up into the joint of the jaw, down to the hilt. He can't scream. Not a single sound is made. No blood is pouring forth because of that dagger is holding the wound in place. Everyone in his group from behind him immediately are like choking back pain, like anguish of having seen him just get stabbed. The minute she draws the blade, then the gurgling and the spraying of blood starts to happen, and he's on the ground. He's clutching his throat.
Can I say something to her?
Yeah.
The pain you've inflicted on others will soon weigh on you and carry you down to hell.
Little bird, there's no hell for me. There is a kingdom, and I should crown it. Now, there might be a hell for you, because of who you've pissed off. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. It was foretold. You are not at fault. This is not personal. It is simply the way things must go. The guards pick up the body and chuck it onto the wicker giant. What
I
you
want
all...
Ethan.
Yes.
If I say I wanted to attack Bannifer and I dropped my invisibility to do it, would I have a surprise attack round?
That's not a good idea.
That you technically would. You technically would.
What are we gonna do, Nick? Like, how can we help you with this?
Because we're tied up. Yeah.
There's not
I
a
don't
lot
know.
that can happen.
I'm just thinking. So,
You.
but she doesn't have.
She throws-
I won't
she
be able to kill her in one round.
Probably.
Well, what
not-
happens if you
probably
kill
not.
her and then there's still 50 cultists around?
Was
Yeah.
it
So
the leader that the cult is dismantled?
No, that's not how it works. Just another dude takes power. He goes, "Oh, I can be in charge now." Then the fly dragon will be like, "Well, let me lead this thing now. Now I don't have to listen to her. Now I can control the whole thing."
Yeah, but we could take control just as easily.
No, we can't, Nick. No, we
not
can't.
If
not
you-
if the four of us are bound.
If you kill their prophetess directly in front of them, you will face their fury.
They're gonna
Make-
kill you.
You.
All right. Just thinking. I was just thinking.
Make a perception roll for me, real quick.
Me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, 18, I believe. Let me double check.
I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be back.
No, I'm sorry. 19.
19. You look off into the distance at the top of the tower where there's the two crossbow guards that were on the western structures.
Yeah.
And both of them have blades now plunged in through their into the back of their abdomens.
It's our girl. Dude.
And as those blades are drawn, they're quickly grabbed by vines and pulled into the wall, and the vines cover their mouth. And you see can see an elven woman that's walking the battlements and is kind of looking around and trying to get a gauge, but that happens silently.
Okay.
She sheathes both of her blades and begins to grab a few things from a pouch that she has, and then turns into a squirrel, and you lose sight of her.
Man, I wish I was a fucking druid, dude.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Moving on for just a moment. For all of you that are down in this in the congregation, you notice in the tower something is moving within this wicker giant. There seems to be something formless that is living amidst the flame.
That's not a good
Have I
word.
seen that?
You have, and that's why I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Wait, who makes it?
I just
Oh,
rolled
Miles.
in that one. I just rolled
That
in
one,
that one.
you are paralyzed with fear.
What the fuck is it?
So you
I gotta-
are caught presently by the paralysis condition, but it is a paralysis of fear.
I'm crying. Like I'm literally crying my brains out. right
Yes, you're not making any sounds though because you're paralyzed by fear.
Okay.
But basically, to give you an idea of what you can or can't do, you are technically incapacitated. You cannot move or speak, so you're locked in place. You will automatically fail any strength or dex saving throws that get thrown your way until you are unafraid. Attacks against you are going to have advantage, obviously, and any attack that hits you, I'm gonna forego that one. So I'm just going to remove that anything turns into an automatic critical hit because you're not technically paralyzed. You're just paralyzed by your fear. So Ragnak and Oslek, you see quite quickly that something has gripped. Something has gripped Nihilus so heavy that the tears streaming down her face carry no sound, and yet they are quite visible. She's locked in an internal anguish.
I'm gonna look over at Nihilus. That's it.
And hold on real quick. I still have my spectacles and my hat on, right?
Yes.
Nihilus, it'll be all right. We'll get you out of here. I wish you had ran sooner, but don't worry. I will make sure you make it out of here safe. And then as I say that, I'm going to cast my...
They took your holy symbol.
Oh, fuck. I can't... So I can't use Channel Divinity?
what are we doing with that?
You end one effect on a friend, causing it to be charmed or frightened. Well, okay, it's gonna definitely make a scene. It'll definitely make a scene. But as an action,
I will let you roll a sleight of hand roll at disadvantage if you want to do it. But if
Okay.
you can't roll it and then say I don't do it.
I-
If you
but-
roll it, you're doing it. So you
Let
can
me-
decide sleight of hand at disadvantage or no.
I'm going to take it if you still let me. But I did want to clarify. I am reading this. It does say I need to present my holy symbol.
So then you
So,
cannot.
okay, then I won't do
Because
it.
they took your holy symbol. Yeah.
Then fuck. That would have been so cool if I could have.
You could still say
charmed
that to
your-
me, but I'm ignoring you right now.
She's like choking.
You
in
can't
fear.
move.
Yeah, she's like choking in fear. Ragnak, you get the butt of a spear to the back of your shoulder and it pushes you down. You don't take damage, but it pisses you off. Vanifer looks down at all of you. Most of you thought that maybe the others wouldn't notice. For the rest, you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, it matters not. The flames will consume anything that they so wish. One by one, you will see the light. One by one, you'll be blessed. Volunteers are always appreciated, but it's quite irrelevant. You will all have your turn. The two woodland men kind of start like digging their nails into the sand, like they're pissed. They're so angry.
Ethan,
Yes.
can I, in the name of causing a distraction, could I try to compromise the integrity of the fire offering thing shrine type bobber and knock it over?
It's big. It's really big. So you would need to
But
find something
But
that
it's
can do that.
like it's made out of like sticks and twine, right?
Ethan.
Yeah, but it's massive. So it has a
Yeah,
it has a
it's a
sturdy
huge-
structure. Like they took that into consideration.
Can I, Ethan? Can I have a prepared action?
Depending on what it is.
It's not anything crazy. So I would, if they begin to try and sacrifice another person, I would like, to the best of my ability, try and get a opportunity of dialogue to sacrifice myself instead.
Okay.
And while
I'm positive that would be a really dope moment. However, Pippin, you look up at the now eastern side of the tower where the crossbowmen weren't, and a squirrel has climbed right back up to the top of the tower, and back into Garena. Her blades are still sheathed, and the two little motes that were with her are now behind her. She has now a bunch of things in her hands, which she's starting to put together with like a magical incantation. Parses them out into two different like shells. Each mote puts themselves into these shells, and then as she's crushing them, a burst of magical like energy kind of puffs out from that, and she throws them forth into the midst of the crowd. As they go outwards, which everyone else is still like focused on what's immediately in front of them, you can see everyone's going to start to notice as they start to change, because what was being thrown out were wooden effigies. Now these effigies begin to solidify quite quickly and grow in size. What starts to produce from them is a massive growth of bark of oak tree branch, as two massive treants get thrown out into the midst and plop amongst the congregation. As they drop, there are maybe five per treant that are immediately squished, and I mean like meat bags, and it is painful.
No, baby.
What happens next is they just start swinging. They start grabbing things and throwing. They start grabbing people, and the guards react as they should and start to move towards the treants and start to stabbing into them. One of them gets a spear and stabs it into the side. Because the spear's on fire, the treant starts to begin to burn slowly. The woodland men, the two that are kind of next to you that are angry, both look at each other. They look at you. One of them looks at you, Ragnar, and goes, "I'll be damned." if I and kind of shakes a little bit, let myself die for you. And the eyes go red, and the fur that begins to grow on this person's arms begins to grow at such a rapid pace as the back begins to like
Is it?
breaking, as you can see the bone
bear.
begins to push out in different directions.
The bear.
The first one is a white furred wolf form.
That's cool.
That as it finishes kind of shifting.
No.
The other one is a black furred bear form. And
Yeah.
it just means like, and they immediately just spring out. Like the minute they're loose, they are grabbing people and mauling them. The other druids that are with you all immediately begin to shapeshift into different types of animals as well.
Wait.
And in fact, their elk from before that had run off run back up in order to kind of join into the fray, into the chaos of what is happening. Garena jumps down in this massive owlbear form and is in this screech is just beginning to rake at people. You guys don't have your weapons. You guys don't have your stuff. Ragnarok, one of the guards immediately runs towards you with a spear in hand and goes, "All right, I'm going to put you down." Throws it in your direction. I need you to go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please. And before you do that, I need to ask you a question. It's a simple yes or no question. Would you like to rage?
Yes, I'd like to rage.
Okay, go ahead and roll on a wild magic surge for me, and then you're going to make your athletics check at advantage, my friend.
Oh, let's use the numbers, dude. Use the numbers. Oh, you got it. What you get? Oh shit!
This one?
Yeah, you read it.
All right. You got 3, right? 3?
3.
Okay. An intangible spirit, which looks like a flump or pixie, appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet. At the end of the current turn, the spirit explodes, and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d6 force damage.
Okay.
Until
Who do you want that by?
and summoning another spirit on each of your turns as a bonus action.
Who do you want that by?
The guy who's about to throw the pike at me.
Okay, so right behind them, the spectral form of a flump, which is like a little space, like jellyfish, like a space jellyfish with like eyes,
What the heck?
appears right behind him. And what'd you roll on your athletics roll? Go ahead and roll an athletics at advantage because you're raging.
Ooh.
It's still good. Oh, shit. I got a 26.
26. As the spear comes at you, you grab it with both hands at the edge and you yank it from him. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me. You get 2.
You said, wait, make 2?
You make 2. Yeah.
Are you doing it?
Oh, right.
Can you do it recklessly?
You can if you wish.
I'll do it recklessly.
You should always do it recklessly. Every time.
And then like that,
Yeah, that'll what, 17, 18?
well, I'm using the pike, which, okay, I'm still pushing it.
Yeah.
6. This one is 17.
That was an unnatural form.
19.
Or, yeah, 19.
Yeah.
Plus one more because it's recklessly.
Oh, right. What was the first one? 17?
Yeah. And that one's 19.
Okay, so the first one's a 17 to hit, and the next one's a 19 to hit.
A 17 and a 19. Both of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage. You're going to go ahead and roll a...
Recklessly.
Yeah, sorry, because you're using his weapon. My bad. You are going to go ahead and roll a... What do? Pac-Man. You are going to go ahead and roll a D6, or sorry, a D8 of piercing damage, and then a D6 of fire damage.
Oh, shit, because it's on fire?
Correct, yeah, because it is on fire.
And twice, too.
Yes, you do that twice.
Oh, man. That's kind of... Man.
Okay, so this is 4 plus my strength. Right?
Plus range. No, plus strength.
Okay, so the first one's 8 damage.
Yeah, baby.
You said 8?
Yeah, first
that-
one's 8 damage and then 10 damage. So total.
Was the 8 plus your strength and rage?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, plus my rage.
That would have been 10, 11.
What did you roll? A 1 and a 1?
It was 8 plus 3, so
Yeah.
11 plus the, what was your second one?
14.
6 plus 10, 13. So 11 plus 13 is 24.
All total would be 24.
It's 11 plus 13.
Okay. So you immediately wrench the spear, like you catch it, pull it, and immediately flip it, shove this just on fire spear into the kneecap, like just under the kneecap. It drops him in pain. You pull the spear out, and then you take it down and impale it through the knee. Just keep like through the thigh, leaving his body stuck into the ground because you put the spearhead so far in that the spear, like the flame extinguishes, and you pick yourself up. You see Janice off to the side, that is in a straight shot because there's people fighting kind of all around, and you use your movement to run directly over to her and you grab her with both of your hands. Nihilus, as everything's kind of breaking out, one of the brothers, like the guys with the bows from one of the campfires, gets ripped apart by one of the werewolves specifically, like is starting to get shredded through the front torso, and he drops his bow and also his quiver. You immediately go to grab that so that you have some form of a thing to keep yourself safe. You have a long bow and a set of arrows. You have 10 arrows on you. What would you like to do?
Where's Vannifer?
Vannifer, you can see, has this dagger in her hand, and she is streaking it across the world in front of her, and is ripping a portal open.
Oh, what the fuck?
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to attack her with the bow.
Okay, you have advantage because she's not paying attention to you.
Okay. So that I can roll twice, right?
Yep, take the higher.
Am I still frightened?
No.
Okay.
No, once everything started happening, it basically knocked your senses into place.
Okay. And then I just add my proficiency to my roll, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, are you proficient with longbows?
Uh,
I don't know if you're proficient with longbows. It's a martial weapon.
no, I'm proficient in simple weapons.
Okay, so you just add dexterity.
So then +5?
Mm-hmm.
21.
21. You unsling the arrow, you pull it back, and as the portal is streaked across, you see she walks directly into it. The arrow follows, and then the portal closes. The arrow went through. The arrow went through the portal.
Okay.
After that happens, a few of the other priests that were around her do similar things, but they are just teleporting themselves. So they're going to go ahead and cast Dimension Door. And so about 5 or 6 people grab like another cultist and Dimension Door out so that they're not in the presence of dying.
Right.
Oslet, immediately as all of this is kind of happening, you can see people are getting ripped to shreds all around you. One guy is running towards you with a sword in hand and a shield. He's running as he's going to strike. And as he pulls his sword up, a tree branch grabs him around the waist, he hoists him off his feet away from you, and throws him into the bonfire. It begins to knock down and land against the side of the tower. Fire's going everywhere. What do you do?
I start looking for injured and tending to their wounds.
Okay. There's a very injured guy with a spear impaled through his leg. He is howling in pain, but he's not the kind of guy you want to heal. You do see that one of the druids that was a part of the first group she's got a sling, and so she's hurling a rock. She chucks it. It hits a guy in the head and kind of throws him on his feet. Where you see a bear gets on top of him and starts ripping him apart. But then a crossbow bolt hits her in the shoulder, and it drops her to the ground, and she's clutching onto her shoulder. She breaks it off, and she's holding onto her shoulder and like crawling away in pain. So you run directly for her. What do you do to heal?
I don't have a holy symbol, right?
You don't have your holy symbol immediately on you, so if you wanted to grab that first, you see where your things are. You could really rush. You could go rush over, grab it, and then go get to her.
I can do both.
Yes, I will let you do so. I'm not having the formal combat, so I'm not going to be too hard on the rules right now. I let Ragnar impale a dude into the ground. So
I'm gonna. Is she incapacitated or is she just injured?
She's just injured.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and I'm going to. Actually, can I use like a medicinal kit on her instead?
To just like bandage up the wound?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Okay.
The DC is going to be a bit higher because it's high stakes, but I'll let you.
I have a good bonus to it.
I know. It's going to be
it's actually really good. A 24.
24. You're quick,
yeah.
You're efficient. You bandage up the wound, you pull out the tip of the arrow because she broke it off. You pull out the tip of the arrow, you are quick to cauterize the wound so that you stop the bleeding. And then you wrap up the arm, you bandage it as quickly as you can. And she looks at you, she goes, "Thank you."
Stay safe. And then I'm gonna look. And then the rest of the fire.
She immediately wild shapes into a wolf, and she kind of limps off into the dark, like kind of away for a bit.
All I want to do this combat, because I don't, is just make sure people are okay and tend to their wounds. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, Pippin. It's time to go, buddy. It's time to do something.
Time to go.
Yeah. No one knows that you're here. Your invisibility hasn't broken. It's been 30 minutes since you were invisible.
Wow.
I still haven't casted a spell, so you're good, dude.
Yeah, yeah, you are fine. What do you do?
Where's Bannifer at?
Bannifer's gone. You, in
She's
fact,
gone.
watched her teleport out. She tore a hole through the fabric of reality with this dagger, and it just walked through a portal of fire. She's gone. And about 10 other people followed suit.
Okay. All right. Well, then at that point, if she's gone, that's like our primary target. So at that point, then my next priority just becomes ensuring my party is safe.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody who is immediately threatening any of my party members, I would like to attack them. Okay. Otherwise, I would just like to help secure our party's safety and be like, hey.
Yeah, none of your party members are like in the midst of like a dangerous situation. I mean, you all are, but nothing like immediate. Fly Dragon is quite a target.
Oh yeah. Then I'll go for the dragon.
You want to go for Fly Dragon?
I will do it. Yep,
Okay.
Yep. And
right.
I will. Let me double check. This is my first turn of combat, right?
This is your first turn of combat.
All right, cool. I'm gonna take the attack action to get 3 attacks.
Yes, you will.
Where's my D20? All right, the first one is gonna be. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm gonna use the inspiration. Do I? Yeah. Oh, wait, here's my question, because I'm coming out of invisibility. Do I get advantage on these attacks?
Yes,
or
you do have advantage on these attacks.
Okay, cool. That helps a lot. Okay, so the first one's gonna be like a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Let me double check. Okay. Second one will be 9 or 5. Okay, that's gonna be a 9 plus 10. Second one will be a 19 to hit. And the last
Kill this old man.
The last one will be a 19. Let me just see if I can bring it.
Don't worry about it. Hits.
All right.
Roll damage.
Those all hit, so that is 3d6 for all. Or I'm sorry, no, the last one is 8. Okay, so let's do that. 6, 8, 14, 15 plus. I add. What do I add? Dex for me. 15 plus 5. That'll be 20 points of damage.
On the first one?
No, that'll be for all three.
Okay.
Because it's only because a short bow is only a D6.
Right.
So I get 2 D6s and a D8. So I got 15 for all three plus my dex. So it's 20.
Yeah, but you had your dex 3 times. It's 3 separate attacks.
Okay. So in that case, then it would be 30 points of damage.
30 points of damage. Okay. You immediately pull your bow out. You knock 3 arrows at the same time. Pull and fire. And it's just bam, bam, bam. They riddle into the side of Elazar. And these arrows, one punctures in the ribs, one gets him and kind of sinks into his arm, one gets him in the thigh. And he's caught along the side, just riddled. And he kind of clutches at one and goes, "Arr! Arr! Oh!" And breaks off the arrow and kind of grabs the one at his side. He goes, "Oh, my faithful!" And that part starts, coughing up blood. You immediately see as Garena, as an owlbear, is bowling through a couple of these guards, grabbing 2 with these massive bare hands, and drops these just crushed forms. Ragnar, you've grabbed Janice, and that you've left a guy impaled, so you kind of need to deal with that. So you kind of run back over to him, but I think something happens with the flump, right?
Yeah, he explodes.
Okay. So what happens?
How much damage?
It's 1d6.
So roll 1d6 because he's impaled. He fails this saving throw.
And force damage, so it's very unlikely that he'll be in or resistant.
Okay. It is a dex save, though.
But don't worry about it. He's impaled.
Oh, he's impaled.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be 4 damage.
4 points of damage. Takes 4 points of damage as the little flump right behind him, and this wave of force kind of knocks him down. And he clutches the spear instinctually, only kind of driving it further into the ground. He's like, "Ah! Ah!" You immediately run over Janice in hand. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Oh no, these guys are an animal. Well, yeah. Like they say, dragonborn. So,
Okay, so the first one is
definitely dead.
it's like a 24 for the first one.
And that one is also definitely dead.
I want to see that crit.
All right, yeah.
And then next one's a 25. No. Okay. Completed.
That could be Dev's 10 plus strength 15. 14. 2. Second one is 2. 5. 8 plus 4 is 12. So 15 plus 12. 27.
Okay, 27 damage for the 2 attacks.
27. Okay. So you run up with Janice in hand, and as you're running, you swing Janice behind you as you're running at him, and slide into a swing that catches him in the jaw. You watch the jaw break off and fly, leaving this empty space where a jaw should be. As this guy can't now scream in the pain that you've left him in, you go ahead and grab him by the throat. You look at him. You take Janice. Bop. Head. Boom. And just break him. You just break him. Just grab him, and he's just onto the ground. And he's still kind of stuck at a weird angle because you've left him impaled. So you grab the spear, you pull it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and have you hurl it at someone. You can choose between a guard and have advantage, or you can choose Elazar and have no advantage.
Do the fucking dinosaur.
Is it what, the dinosaur?
Yeah, it is a
Fly
Zord.
dragon.
Go. His name ends in Zord. And
Fine, I'll throw it at Fly Dragon.
Zord.
Okay.
Nick's up fucking suffixes, dude. Nick identifies things through suffixes. Fuck.
Right.
I got a 23 to hit.
A 23 to hit. Okay, go ahead and roll damage on that. You do not have the fire damage because you extinguished it.
So it's just the D6.
D8 because I'm gonna have you throw it. I'll give you a little bit extra damage. It should be a D6 because you're throwing it, but it's fine.
Nice. D8, baby. Appreciato. Get the damage in. Ooh, 4 plus rage is 3. 11 damage.
11. As the spear flies towards him, it hurls. It catches him in the left shoulder and impales him against the base of the wicker giant. His back is caught to the flames. What you hear from him is a mixture of excitement and pain.
Oh,
He is relishing this in a way that seems horrid. But he is in pain. He's quite literally being burned alive. And it hurls out and you just hear, "Oh, Emmett! Oh, bless the flames!" And he's just like stuck there.
Ethan, don't kill him.
It's up to you guys to not kill him.
Don't
Make
kill
him the final boss.
Oh, you don't want him to be the final boss. Oslick, as you've moved over into another direction, you see as the owlbear, Garena, has moved over to another set of guards and is just tearing into them. She grabs one with her beak and pulls him from underneath his legs, and then with like lurches up on her hind legs and crushes down, just absolutely just turning him into a cherry, and he just breaks. And then she grabs the body with her beak and throws it in the direction. It catches another person, he topples over, and then there's a werebear on top of him mauling him. You don't see anyone else kind of to kind of rescue at the moment, but what you do know is that the battle is now almost immediately it's pretty much won. The Treants are kind of they have the last of the people gathered up and are just bashing them into the ground. Elazar, you have a choice to make. Elazar has been impaled to the wicker giant. He is not dead yet, but you can choose to save him if you so wish. Or
Me?
yes, you can choose to save him if you wish.
No. Save him and imprison him.
Obviously, I'm going to save him. Yeah.
Okay, you run up to him. He's impaled by a spear. I need you to make a strength check, athletics, if you could.
Okay. Will you give me a chance to say something cool while I do this, or after
Sure.
I do this to him? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me find the. Okay.
No,
You said a strength check?
Athletics, yeah.
Athletics?
let him burn and then
I'm proficient in athletics. Yeah, I am. So 11 plus 5, because 3 plus 2. So 16.
16. So what do you say?
You say it, dude. That's what you talk
Your-
about burning someone.
Your boss might have escaped, but for now, you will pay for the pain that you've caused on all of these other people here. And
And then
as
you
I
tell
kind
him,
of,
Yeah, and you put both hands on the spear, and then you yank, and you hear the sound of the blade tearing back through the flesh, the blood spraying forth from that, and he begins to cough up a bit more blood, and he's visibly weakened, his back is scorched, it smells horrid, he's in a lot of pain, he's now probably permanently disfigured across his entire backside, and I mean from head down, like his hair's on fire and everything. And he lurches down, and he's like, I've been
Here one.
No.
No, he doesn't die.
purge you.
We don't want him to die.
And he
Wait, what did he
drops.
say?
He says,
I'm not
"Imix-"
going to let him die.
He says, Imix will purge you, and then he drops. Not
I use
unconscious from the pain.
Okay. I'm going to not use any spells. And I'm going to.
He is not dying. He is not
Yeah.
unconscious from the pain. So you
As-
ripped him off.
Okay.
He's good. If you want to treat his wounds, you can start doing so.
I will intentionally, mediocrely treat his wounds.
Okay.
Nah,
you
that's
just try to
tougher.
stop
That's
the bleeding so that you're not
Yeah.
worried about him dying.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go above and beyond.
Okay. And as you're starting to wrap up the wound so that you can stop the bleeding, you finish that up, and you are met with kind of an uncomfortable silence.
Can I? Sorry. Can I do something?
No. You look around and you see everyone gathered. The fighting's been done. You were so focused that you didn't see the last of the guards get killed, and now everyone's watching you. Let's keep this person from dying, your enemy. That is where we're going to pick up next. And that's where we'll leave off.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Can I do what I wanted to do next session?
Yeah,
Hundred
it depends on what it
Okay.
is. We'll get to it next
All
session.
right.
But yeah, I just
All right.
wanted to put us in a good spot so that we weren't, at risk of going over. So that is
Good
what we
spot.
got to tonight. I'm hoping that you guys kind of enjoyed tonight's session because I was trying to break away.
I did. I really did.
A lot of the sessions from about halfway into the campaign are going to be dungeon slogs. So I'm trying to make things a little bit more like cinematic, maybe have some moments that are a little bit outside of like the traditional, like, okay, it's this person's turn initiative, what do you do? Because we're about to face a lot of that. So in those moments, I'm very grateful for your flexibility. I'm also very grateful for when you're willing for me to just tell you no, because I'm trying to get some stuff done to really shape a moment in a different way. Very grateful for you guys in that flexibility. And when we start hitting the moment where I'll start reining back on that, you guys will have that full control back again. So thank you. For everyone watching, that concludes another awesome night. I've had a great time. I think my players had a great time. And I'm pretty sure I have added some things to the therapeutic list of what they'll need to discuss and unpack. So he touched my hammer, and then I impaled him into the floor, and I beat his jaw off.
Of this whole table, one of the darkest nights we've probably ever played. It's crazy.
Good.
It was a good night. It was a good night. But yeah, that was nuts, dude. That was nuts.
Good.
That was
glad. Yeah. Just know, for those of you that are watching, I've been working on, in the background, a homebrew world for our players to play in, something that's a bit more unique for the couch co-op. It's our eventual end goal is to get to that world and then stay in that world. Welcome to the inspiration of what was driving my world. You like dark, buddy? Then you're gonna thoroughly enjoy it. So I'm excited, but it's not done. It's in the works, but it's getting closer and closer. What I'm hoping to do is by the end. Here's an announcement. End stream announcement. I'm hoping by the end of this campaign that we're capable of doing a one-shot where I can introduce you guys to that world. So we'll look forward to that. We'll look forward to that. And I say one shot, but I mean like two shot. Let me just be honest. I can't do that in one shot. I'll be too excited. So I look forward to that. Without further ado, though, that is where we're going to end things for tonight because it's starting to get a little late. And I want to make sure everyone can get to bed and get ready for the rest of the week. So thank you guys so much for another great night. We will see you guys next week. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Tell someone you love them. And do well.